our consciousness. In our childhood, and most likely in America, I hope people still follow. Please come, sir. Yeah. Ashok garu kada? Yeah. మీ అన్నయ్య గారి పేరు శివ గారు కదా? Yeah. So thank you, sir, for coming and joining us. Yeah, thank you. So in good old India, at least in our childhood, we used to take bath and then go to the school. Of course, I think in America now it's changed. I guess they'll do that in the night itself, looks like. But anyways, why do we do that when you go to the school? So that we are clean, our minds are clean, our body is clean, so that we can focus on the subject matter and learn. So similarly, when we talk about transcendental subject matter like spirituality and Krishna consciousness and all that, we need to bathe our consciousness. So that's what we did through this process of yajna. This is called yajna, Sankirtana yajna. We discussed that many times. So what Sandhini did, where is Sandhini? She has gone upstairs? Yeah, okay. What Sandhini did, and the rest of the devotees here, kids, Madhav and Gaurang, what they did is, they performed a yajna. Yajnair samkirtanair prayar yajantihi sumedhasa. And especially in this Kali Yuga, that is the best. Most intelligent people do that. In fact, blessed are those homes where this wonderful Sankirtan is done always. It purifies the heart, it purifies wherever. Because once upon a time, like once Narada Muni asked a question to Lord Shri Krishna. Krishna, what is your address? Many people are saying that you live in Dwaraka. Some people are saying you're in Vrindavan. So what he said is, Yatra gayanti mad bhaktya tatra tishtami Narada. Wherever my devotees simply glorify my holy name and chant the holy names, that is the place where I reside. Naham tishtanti Naham tishtanti Vaikunthe. I don't, my address is not Vaikuntha. Na yoga hridayeshva. Nor I do live in the yogis' hearts. Yatra gayanti mat bhaktya tatra tishtami Narada. My dear Narada, wherever my devotees actually chant my holy names, glorify my pastimes, that is where I reside. So today we are actually very blessed to have Radha Krishna Prabhuji's place, where we are doing this Sankirtan Yajna like this. And thank you, Radha Krishna Prabhuji. I don't know, he also vanished suddenly somewhere. And Kalyani Garu, thank you so much. She's also doing service there. But thank you so much for opening your home and your hearts so that we all can come do Nama Sankirtana, so that Krishna is right here. Krishna is there. Kali Kale Nama Rupe Krishna Avatar. In Kali Yuga, many times we talk Dashavataras and all that, right? But in Kali Yuga, of course, we also say in Kali Yuga, the Lord has descended in their place, Tirupati, as Lord Balaji. But apart from that, we can also Kali Kale Nama Rupe Krishna Avatar. Krishna has descended into this world as his holy name itself. Krishna, everybody say that, Krishna. That is non-different from Krishna. Nama Grahi means the name and the person that is identified by that name are non-different. It's very difficult to understand now for us, but they are non-different. Like for example, I was drinking this water, water, water. The word water and the actual water are different. If I just say water, it doesn't quench my thirst. But if I take this water, it does. Because the object to water and the word water are two different. That is why this is called relative world. Relative world means this world, everything is in relation. Every designation that I have is in relation to something. It means, for example, I'm a husband means because I'm related to a wife, I'm a husband. Employee has a relationship with employer. Like that. So this is relative world. But whereas in absolute world, the spiritual strata, which we will discuss and will get better understanding later in the journey, they are non-different. So that's why these wonderful kids have performed this Sankirtan Yajna. And we are so glad that we all actually participated in Yajna. Yeah? So that's the good. So let us take one more time bath by invoking the prayers of the Vaishnava Acharyas. Acharyas are the teachers. Unless we have the mercy of the teachers, unless we have the mercy of the parents, the kids cannot receive anything, right? Right? Yeah. Similarly, unless we have the mercy of the spiritual parents, grandfathers and ancestors, We cannot have that mercy of understanding this. So just like the way we go to school by taking bath, we will take bath now in their shelter. Okay? So please repeat after me. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Sva Padantikam. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabho Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Thank you once again. Though I have no qualifications in sharing this wonderful philosophy of Krishna consciousness, for the pleasure of the Vaishnava Acharyas, for the pleasure of Srila Prabhupada, and for my own. I have, actually, in this case, I have greed in my heart, which is the only purpose of doing this, for me at least, is to purify my own heart. So with that, as my service to my Shri Guru, who is also present in the form of his mercy, in the form of all of you, because I'm able to actually do my service to my Guru. So I'd like to seek the blessings of each and every one of you who is present here. And please, if I speak anything wrongly, if I hurt unknowingly or knowingly, with your wonderful kind hearts, please excuse me as your servant. So with that, I would like to once again seek the permission of Radha Krishna Garu, who is here, who is my god brother, and my sister Kalyani Garu. And I would like to actually offer my prostrated obeisances to wonderful senior Vaishnavas and my god brothers like Rajendra Sutta Prabhuji, Tirupati Prabhuji. And I would like to seek your blessings and all of your blessings too. Venkat Garu, please. Thank you. If I forgotten anybody, please excuse me. So, technology part, let me make sure that this is getting recorded. Okay. Yes, Prabhuji, if you could, sorry to bother you. If it could be pointed to me now, today I'm using that, yeah. Maybe a side, Prabhuji, yeah. That's fine. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. So I will not. So we're good. So let's quickly recap what we have done so far. Okay. So I'm going to again, if you can fire up. Let's see. This is the third attempt we are doing. Let's see if this works this time. So I'm starting a quiz. If you point there or go to slido.com and then just simply type Krishna on your phones. Let's try if that works. So this time it seems to be working because we have wired connection this time. I hope it is, yeah. You can have my phone, yeah, sure. Yeah, I don't see anybody join yet. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Yeah, Hare Rama, Rama Ram, Hare Hare. Random person is there. RP, Venkatesh Garu. Yeah, if you want to stay anonymous, that's fine. You use whatever name. Superman, Spider-Man, Hanuman. Yes, Yatish is there. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I need at least 3 more people. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hanuman is there. Jai Bolo Hanuman ki. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna is there already. Okay, nice. One more person. I want at least one more person. Mataji, you all can actually move. I know it is very comfortable. Yeah, then stay. But, feel free to come nearby too. Yeah, so we all have. Okay, now I'm starting the quiz. Don't, okay. Our Veer Nari hai yahan pe. We have to wait for her. Okay, I'm starting now, guys. Okay? You can type, that's fine. So now here's the question. You have 27 seconds there. Which of the following are not uncommon among humans and animals? It's a tricky question. Which of the following are not uncommon? Yeah, you got to read it. Uncommon among, not uncommon. I use not uncommon. So you can do, it's a double negative connotation. So which means which of the following are common among humans and animals? You guys are answering? Click as many as you can apply. Yeah, I can see 17% people. Yeah, almost everybody. Yeah, click it. You should be able to. The question ended? Okay. So that's fine. So let's see the answers, okay? So sleeping, yes. Which correct? Eating, procreation, defending. Correct. Eating. So ahara, nidra, bhaya, maithunancha. We remember? Ahara means? Eating. Nidra means? Sleeping. Bhaya means defending. Maitsunancha means procreation. So these are common among who and who? Okay, very nice. Good job. Next, Kathy, be ready. The next question at least. You will not miss it. Okay, next question. Yeah? So far, who is leading? Hanuman is leading. Hanuman answered it in the least time. Okay, we'll see. Okay, next. Goal of human life is to inquire and understand our relationship with ourselves, with nature of God. In other words, pursue spiritual life. True or false? 4 people answered. 11 people answered. Oh, okay. Okay. 100% everybody said, agreed. Nobody said so far false. Okay, good. I think we can conclude and we can go home now with Prashad. Because that is really the essence. Yeah, there you go. Everybody answered it correctly. So let's see next one. Taking up spirituality means giving up everything in my current lifestyle, including my eating habits, my stock investments, making money, going on vacation, etc. True or false, I don't know.
It's true, guys.
So let's see here.
It's I don't know.
I see 9% of people answered true. Okay. Some people are saying, I don't know. Okay, we'll see. Okay. So the correct answer is false. Yes. So taking spirituality means not giving up everything. Arjuna gave up everything? Huh? No, right? He was fighting. He was doing his job. So taking spirituality means continue to do whatever we are doing, but in the service of Krishna. Good job. Everybody clap for all these kids. So let's see the next question. No, we'll get to the leaderboard last. It's distracting. Now choose the real problems in life per what you have learned today. I mean that day. Choose all that applies. Real problems. Huh? So hunger, death, current market conditions, old age, mother-in-law, birth, losing jobs, disease. Mother-in-law is answering. Okay, so let's see. Okay. Hey, mother-in-law, 13%. So then you are not paying attention in the class. So, what are the real problems? Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. What was the condition for problems to be problems? They should be, shh. You have to wait. You are too energetic. We can't, when a nuclear fusion comes, we can't bear that. Okay? So, what are the conditions for a problem to be a problem? It must be common to everybody. Good job. It must be, no one can avoid it. Wow, wonderful. And nobody wants it. That is the condition. So, Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. Very good. Good questions. Good. Now, Bhagavad Gita teaches about following subject matter: time, Supreme Almighty, Vastu Shastra, living entity, management principles, karma, leadership principles, how to make money, material nature. Choose. Vastu Shastra means the engineering aspect of constructing a home, like that, a city.
It's not time either. It's fine. We're still getting right. We're still smart. Is it time?
It's time. It's done. Okay. The correct answers. Let's see what the correct answers are. What are they? If you remember karma, so we had a formula. Remember, start with yourself. Right? Start with yourself. What was that? Atma. Right? Next. Time. Yeah, we all work in time. Activities, karma. Very good. Oh, she is very sharp. Now I want elders to respond. Remember? Mataji, आपको याद है? Prabhuji? Prakriti. Yes, very nice. 5 थे पूरा. ईश्वर, प्रकृति, कर्म, काला, जीवा. Perfect. Very nice. Right?
Can we see the leaderboard?
I'll put that. I'm skipping it just because, you guys are.
Wait, you ended it. You ended the question.
Okay, yeah. Let's, now go ahead. Tapatraya. The threefold miseries are: misery is caused by diseases, misery is caused by floods. What else is there? Misery is caused by neighbors, misery is caused by body and mind, misery is caused by material nature, other living entities, misery is caused by employer, misery is caused by diseases, misery is caused by floods and tornadoes. What else? That's all.
Tapatraya means three. No.
Okay, so tapatraya means misery is caused by one's own self. Yeah? Then that is called adhyatmika. Yeah, remember? Then what is the second one? Adi bhautika. Bhautika matlab misery is caused by one other living entities. Yeah? And what is the third one? Adi daivika. Matlab misery is caused by the nature itself, mother nature. Right? You remember all? So misery is caused by neighbors. Is that the right answer or not?
Yes.
Why? It falls under the category of?
By others.
By others. Good job. Misery is caused by body and mind, not you. Let's see. Misery is caused by body and mind. Yes, no? Raise your hand if it is yes. Okay. Misery is caused by material nature. Raise your hand. Yeah, Prabhuji is raised. Okay, very nice. Misery is caused by other living entities? Yes. Misery is caused by employer. Huh? Yeah, so yes or no? Yes, it falls under the category of other living entities. So, Amazon has cut 9,000 jobs. So, that is one of the tapatraya. So, next week, in our company, there is going to be bullets, it seems. So, we'll see. I'm trying to hide. But if it has to hit, it has to hit. Who knows? Right? So, misery is caused by employer. Misery is caused by diseases. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, disease. I mean, if malaria, if mosquito comes and hits, then if it is COVID, is that a tapatraya? It is. Because COVID is a living entity. Right? Yeah, it is. It's a living organism. So it is a virus. Every virus is a living organism. Yeah. So misery is caused by floods and tornadoes. Yes. Okay, good job. So revision is happening. You remember all those things. Good job. Next question. Which of the following persons exhibit worst intelligence? One who hears and understands. One who sees and realizes. One who undergoes experience and realizes. One who undergoes experiences, forgets, and again undergoes experiences repeatedly. Who is the worst fellow? Huh? I am. Okay, yeah, you're right. He said, so I am the worst fellow. Prabhuji has identified my Aradha correctly. Yeah, okay. That one is easy? Okay. Good job, guys. Good job. 100%, everybody said. That is the correct answer. Yes, green color thing came. Next. Real goal of human life is find permanent residentship and green card and settle. Second one, find permanent solution to real problems of life. Buy Tall Brothers brand new mansion and settle. Get permanent relief from all miseries. Get a Lamborghini, make tons of money. Achieve an eternal life of bliss and peace and happiness. Which one is the real human form? Choose all that applies. And it's perfectly fine. There is no right answer or wrong answer in this case. You are just expressing your wish.
It's
Everything? Okay, nice. So let's see what is the correct answer. The technical answers are find permanent solutions to real problems of life. Good job. Yes. Get permanent relief from all miseries. Achieve an eternal life of bliss and peace and happiness. So now one can say, then does it mean that I am trying my hard to get my green card? Is that a problem? It is not a problem. If you have an intention to serve the Lord for any reason, let's say, for example, and if they are applying for green card, perfect, no problem. Doing a job to make sure that the family is well taken care is absolutely no problem. Okay? So it depends on the bhava. Bhavagrahi Janardhana. Everybody repeat Bhavagrahi Janardhana. मतलब वो एक्शन के बारे में नहीं. दैट्स व्हाई दिस इज नॉट कॉल्ड कृष्णा एक्टिविटी. कृष्णा एक्टिविटी मतलब दुर्योधन भी रेडी था एवरी डे इन द मॉर्निंग 8 AM, सुबह 8 बजे को पूरा आर्म्स एंड एम्यूनिशन से रेडी था वो, और अर्जुन भी था, और दोनों कर रहे. हाँ, वर्क इज वर्शिप, भगवत गीता मतलब वर्क इज वर्शिप बोलते हैं. ठीक है, वर्क इज वर्शिप नहीं तो दुर्योधन और अच्छा सा वर्शिप कर रहा है. देन एवरीबडी शुड ग्लोरीफाई दुर्योधन. इट्स नॉट दैट. द एक्शन के पीछे क्या कॉन्शियसनेस है, व्हाट इज द इंटेंशन बिहाइंड दैट एक्शन. द इंटेंशन वी डिस्कस्ड, नाइफ. It's not the problem with holding a knife, whether you are holding the knife to take life or to create new life as a doctor. That is what it is. Okay. Abhi ho gaya, I think. Finally, your wish of leaderboard aa gaya. Hanuman is number 1, Krishna is number 2. See, even here, Krishna likes his servants to be on the top. See? There is a continuous spiritual competition between the devotee and the Lord happens. Always. And I'll ask simple question. As a parent and a son, let's say, do you want your son to win or you want to win in a game? As parents, mom, let's say your mom and daughter are having a game. You want mom to win or the kid to win? Why? That is the love of mother. That is the love of father. That is the love of Krishna. So here Hanuman won. Even here also. Very nice. So I think, good job guys. So I think that kind of recaps everything, right? Pretty much. Yeah. So let's actually jump into more exciting stuff today. So I will start from here. So in this perspective, in this session, what we are going to discuss logically, rationally is, why does God exist? Is it just some kind of a concept created so that everybody is controlled, or is there something that we can derive from this? Is there really, we're going to question that, okay, logically. Why do we want to know who God is? Because last session we actually discussed the problems, right? If someone, so all these Adi Bhautika, Adhyatmika, Adi Daivika problems and all those, we need to go to the source. I was giving my own example, personal example of chiropractor. So even though I had a problem in the ankle, that guy said you have to go to the source, and he gave me a big lecture again on that. So we have to go to the source if we want to solve. Going to the source and solving the problem, real problem, is the ultimate solution or not? Yes or no? Yes, everybody agrees. So let us find who that source is, whether it is a problem or whether it is a happiness thing, whatever it is. I want to know who that source is. That is the question we are going to address today. Yeah? So, once upon a time, just like our Radha Krishna Prabhuji Garu, who is trying to arrange these programs, there was a village, and a person was rolling up his sleeves and trying to call everybody and organize, and then, his nice sadhu was invited there. Okay? So, that sadhu came, and the sadhu was about to talk about God, and he asked first question, how many of you here believe in God? Then everybody said, oh no, we all believe in God. Everybody raised their hands. Wow, अगर सब लोग आप God पे believe करेंगे तो मेरा what's my use here? No, I'm fine. And he leaves away. अरे, then the organizers really got shocked. इतना बहुत कुछ किया हम लोग. We arranged this whole program, and the sadhu comes and asks the questions. Everybody said we all believe in God, and the sadhu said, there is nothing to speak if you all believe in God, and he went away. Pura time, resources, money, everything got wasted. So then they planned, no, इस बार ऐसे करेंगे, we'll make the arrangement again. Like Radha Krishna Gar, how he is very adamant, right? Please come to the satsang program, like that. So they arranged, the organizers arranged, and everybody came. And this time the sadhu, pura, kha ke baitha hai, and then he said, how many of you all believe in God? Nobody raised their hands. He again asked, how many of you believe in God? Nobody. Then he said, if nobody believes in God, I have no interest to talk to you all. And then he left. Then long story short, the organizers again rearranged, and they came with a strategy this bar. ऐसे करेंगे, 50% of the people who are sitting on the right side will say yes, 50% of the people who are on the left hand side will say no. And again the sadhu comes and says, How many of you believe in God? We all believe in the God. Like raise, all the right hand side people all said, yeah, we don't. And the left hand side people said, no, we don't believe in the God. Then the sadhu said, those who believe in God, convince the other people and you can settle among yourselves. And then he left. Right? So the sadhu happily is coming and is just avoiding the situation. But the real thing is, we are all laughing, but it is actually, at times, believe it or not, we realize or not, it is our situation. So today the main goal of this session is to actually bring that. There is just like the way there is great personalities in our body, we also have an atheist somewhere in our hearts. So today's main goal is to bring that guy out from each one of you. So you will see your own atheist guy coming out, and we will question that atheist guy, and then understand that, okay, Bapre, itna sab kuch hai isme. Then that's the idea here, okay? And we're going to see how we're going to do that rationally, logically, and probably through some scriptures too, right? So there is a book called Why Do Bad Things Happen? By the way, that's another session, very very interesting session that's coming in future. But please don't miss that. So there is the author of that person. His name is Harold Kushner. He was actually a rabbi. He was like a father in the church. Completely dedicated his life for serving the Lord. But what happened is his 3-year-old son was actually diagnosed with a degenerative disease. And that means the body of that small kid would eventually degenerate and then he would die. So very, very at a very young age. And Kushner really, really asked himself, I have dedicated my life. I have served the Lord. I have pretty much donated money, charity, my energies, my time, everything to this Lord, and this is what I get? And that really made him question, does God even exist? If God is almighty, if God is all pervading, if God is all supremely powerful, how can that happen to my child? And in fact, actually nowadays, you see in these YouTubes, the ads sometimes, I have my miracle child. If miracle child is he, how can that happen? These kind of questioning happens, right? So that is exactly the same question that Harold Kushner was also actually asking. Now, we need to get an answer to that, one has to be very, very, for this home to stay strong. What is most important thing? Foundation. Yes, foundation. In California, I think, in Portland area also probably these redwood trees are there, right? Right? Portland, Oregon, that area, Seattle area. So in California also they have these redwood trees. Anybody have seen a redwood tree? You have seen a redwood tree? Okay. Oh, Mataji said she's here. So these are very, very tall. And believe it or not, if they did carbon dating on these too, they found that these are like, 500,000 years back old trees. But if you notice, their roots, they're not deep. They are, they're just on the very surface. If you just dig, you'll see the roots very easily. They're very, very on the surface itself, almost. They're not deep rooted. Now, how is that a redwood tree, such a tall tree, that is like, 1,000 years of age, that is withstanding tornadoes, withstanding, hurricanes, withstanding all weather conditions in California and all, how the weather is. It's still withstanding and staying so strong. Why? And even its roots are were not even deeper. Why? Because Madhav was saying, they were interlinked with the next tree. They are so tightly integrated that, they derive strength from there itself. So for any construction, any nature, any tree or whatever you're talking, or in this home, foundation is very important. It is not it's like in Hyderabad, like in Tellapur, Attapur and all these, you have all these apartments, right? Huge apartments, everybody, wow. Material education is all about fancier things. Spiritual education is going to the foundation. If the foundation is strong, then nothing can shake it. Similarly, when our foundation is strong in our own Vedic wisdom and culture, nothing can shake us. So that is the idea of this session. So bring that atheist out and then, examine that person. right? That's the goal. So let's go to the actual slide here. Do we have answers to these questions? Why so many rituals? What is the use? Just focus on, when Ganeshji Chaturdashi comes, my sons ask, why dada itna coconuts kyun chahiye? Why are you wasting coconuts? And all these kind of questions come from the kids too, right? Why? Just simple question. Why do we use coconut water on the Lord? Now, why not purified water? We have this. Huh? Purity. Why? Purified, water is coming, right? Ganga Jal. Ganga Jal they use, but other than Ganga Jal, why coconut water? Nobody will taste it. Yeah, actually, very nice, Mataji, very close. Coconut water is the only water that is not touched by the frog urine. Anything else is touched by frog urine. We are thinking, wow, best mineral water. That mineral water, every pond, ocean, rivers has a frog. So it's touched, but coconut water is not touched. So these are, everything is scientific, the rituals that we have, they are not just ritual. What is missing is spiritual. They are spiritual. We don't understand the spirit behind them, and we just think these are rituals. So, why do people who are afraid to go to temples, right? Is it cowardly for anyone to go to God when they are worried? Exam times are coming right now. Right, in next 2 weeks, almost all the students are going to go through the exams. So in the exams, means in India at least, before the exams, all the temples are fully flooded. As soon as the exam is done, what is flooded? Movie theaters. Full, reservations from that evening itself will start. Right? So why, means, is it cowardly for anyone to go to God when they are worried? People are worried about exams, people are worried about visas. Like they have this, in Hyderabad, there is a temple called Visala Devudu. Chilkur Balaji temple. Very beautiful temple actually. But everybody goes there with an application. What is that? Not hall ticket. Visa. That God is very famous only for visa. If you need visa, you have to go there. And everybody is making rotations, and nowadays they are giving this slip, and you can actually 108, right? So you can tick mark 108, 100. So that actually Pujari ji, one of my friends, very relative, and that person is very nice person actually. That Pujari, he says, "Arey Baba, you chant the holy name of the Lord. Please chant. Nobody, everybody is busy. Tick. एक बार हो गया. Tick. अगर you hardly go to even Tirupati, वहाँ पे जाते ही क्या हो गया? You hardly have, nowadays how much, if you don't go to, now they have introduced 10,000 rupees ticket, na? But if you don't take that, if you go to normal ticket, hardly you will get 20 seconds. In that 20 second, my goal there is to read 20,000 wish list. Green card, H1 visa, my son's engineering ticket, this one, that one, loan. Where are you saying? You are busy only reading your list, right? So, is it cowardly for anyone to go and, when they are worried? Are there two gods, one who created us and one whom we created? Yeah, we also created gods, believe it or not. There are some records where we have actually recreated some gods. I will not go into that because if we don't know, it will be shocking for some and it will be unnecessarily, hurting their sentiments. But we have also as humans created some gods, that is true, Is God who made us completely unknowable to us? Is religion made by God man or by God himself? Right? Why are we, when we are born, why are we not born with a religion stamped on us? Actually, if you really see, all these questions are coming from, there is a movie that came long back. Amir Khan movie. Anybody remembers? PK. You remember PK? If you watch the PK, these are the questions. Actually, some of these questions we actually articulated from that movie. One day maybe we'll do PK analysis. Okay? Not, just so that we understand how do we understand, right? Because that movie raised questions, but half answered it, and it ended in a mood where, you be happy, I be happy. Don't touch me, you don't touch me. That kind of a thing came, actually, if you really read. When you come, great movie. But actually there are issues that did not answer. So why do religions have different rituals? For example, I was watching a lecture, And in there, one of the Maharaj, one of the sannyasi, he was traveling on a flight, and some Middle East guy actually sat next to him, and he said, Swamiji, looks like you are a very spiritual person, and I come from Middle East, and one of the easiest questions that they always ask is, why do you guys worship stone? Why do you worship stone? That is the question. Typically, that comes from the Islamic world. That's the number one question they ask. In fact, it is condemned. Worshipping the what you call stone. Why do you guys worship? So Maharaj said, do you think if I worship stone, or if you worship anything, if we walk on that stone, right now we are all walked from the earth, right? We came on the stone, on the earth. If we are worshipping stone, would we walk? Nobody would walk. Do you think we are fools that we are walking on the stone? Is like, it is not stone. It is not stone. It is a deity. And there is a process, a bona fide process of inviting the Lord into that. So this is the difference between Prahlad Maharaj consciousness and Hiranyakashipu consciousness. Hiranyakashipu saw stone in the Lord, and Prahlad Maharaj saw Lord in every stone also. That's why he says, show me this pillar. Is your source of all of your energy, is the Lord there in this stone? He said, yes, he's there everywhere. And then he broke. Right? This is the consciousness. So it's like this. If somebody tells, every blue color box is you can put a letter in that, it will go to the destination. Will that happen? In India, it is red box, right? The postal box is red color. Here it is, maybe it's USPS is blue color, let's say. Blue color, something like that. So if every blue box you paint a thing, if you put the letter, it will go. No, because only bona fide postal approved, authority approved boxes where you put the letter, it goes to the thing. Because behind that box, all you're seeing is only box. But behind that postal box, there is a huge department. USPS department is there. So many people are working. That you don't see. You only see, blue color box, dal do. So we don't just like that go any stone, worship. There is a process. There is a bona fide way of inviting the Lord. Then they merge the material elements. They do all those kinds of, very big rituals. So many yajnas happen in Tirupati, right? So it's a process. It's not just like that. You think that we are all fools? Like that, when he answered, that person actually understood the perspective. So, very, very important. These are very, very crucial. We are not just doing it just for the sake of doing it. There is a meaning behind it. We need to really question those. We need to understand. When God can, for example, does a stone smeared with colored powder become God? When God can hear our prayers everywhere, why do we need to go to temple? अरे जहाँ पे भी है तो God सुनेगा ना, तो क्यों temple ही क्यों जाना है? Right? Can we not ask on faith openly, especially in today's corporate world? Asking about this religion is a big problem. Nobody should talk about religion. You talk about anything else. Even I was working in France almost 15 years back. For 1 year I worked, and there was a very close friend of mine. He was a French person. He was, even though I didn't purposely brought the spirituality at work, he understood that I was, and then he slowly started bringing, and he used to call always Mother Nature. He was only to the, if we tell the name of the Lord, he doesn't agree. It's not Allah, it is nothing. For me, that supreme power is nature, Mother Nature, some universe, some universal power. Like that he used to call. Right? So, can we not ask questions on faith openly? Why do some people become offended on asking? Don't bring that at work, or wherever. Why does God not respond to my prayers? अरे मेरे neighbor को promotion मिल गया और मेरे को नहीं मिल रहा, क्या हो रहा है ये सब? Right? So these are some of the questions we ask, and when we don't have answers to any of these questions, what does that mean? Our faith is temporary. It is just in one sense. Actually, I'll tell, when the real situation comes and challenges us, and if we don't really have the proper understanding, probably I will choose to be an atheist. In one sense, I am an atheist because I don't have faith in one God or the God at all. First of all, even if I have God, many people come. This guy, Monday one God, Tuesday one God, Thursday one God, this God, that God. So many things are coming into my. Will you ever, if you were to love your wife, will you say, my dear wife or my dear husband, I love you only only on Monday from this time to this time. Only on Tuesday I will love you. Is that love? Real love is ahaituki apratihata. Ahaituki matlab hetu nahi hai. Matlab because you have masters in mechanical engineering, hence only I will love you. Because you are working second job, that's why I love you. Or because, not like that. Because you are beautiful, that's why I love you. It is not conditional. Ahaituki, there is no love. Pure love has no. Mother think, okay, I'll give this guy milk only if he can give me some indication that when he grows big and becomes a doctor or engineer, then he will take care of me. Only then I will give milk. Will that mother does that? Mother unconditionally feeds the baby. Right? So there is no ahaituki. What did I say? Ahaituki. Apratihata yayatma suprasidati. Apratihata matlab uninterrupted. Love is uninterrupted. Unconditional, everybody repeat. Love is unconditional, uninterrupted. So this is very, very yayatma suprasidati. This is actually the sages of Naimisharanya are saying that. The great sages of Naimisharanya are saying the real love, the devotional service. Bhakti is nothing but prema. Bhakti is equal to prema, love. Not the prema that you see Chiranjeevi and Madhuri Dixit running around the trees. The real prema is between a pure soul and the Supreme Lord. So that is what it is. So fundamentally, like that sadhu who was creating confusion, we don't know whether we are like, in Telugu they call it gopi. How many of you know Telugu? Gopi means? Godam with pilli means one who is on neither this side or not that side. We are not confused. We are confused. That is the kind of a situation we may be in, because at the end of the day, we cannot be blamed too, because that's what the media is projecting on us. So like Rajamouli movie stamp that came, if you don't have answers for these types of questions, then we are atheists in the disguise of theists. Jahan tak it does not affect me, I am a theistic person. Jahan pe it starts affecting me, I may become an atheist. So everything I like is either. Why is the problem accepting religion? Biggest problem is it might affect everything I like. अरे जो भी मैं करता हूँ, अरे आप लोग तो dogmatic बन गए यार. Everything that you say, I cannot do this, I cannot do that, I cannot do this, I cannot do. इतना rules है. I like everything I like is either illegal, immoral, fattening, expensive, or impossible. Why worry about all this? God or no God? यार अरे आराम से जी रहा हूँ मैं. मेरे को जीने दो ना. Let me live. There's no God. Just stop worrying and enjoy the life. That's fine. If you want to do that, that's fine. But based on the last session, we wanted to find the real solution to the real problems. So we need to go to the source. Right? Am I 100% sure of this conclusion? So we were forced to accept. Once long back I was doing a book distribution. Means book distribution, matlab the devotees, like how Radha Krishna Garu gave nice wonderful gifts for us. So just to share this knowledge, I used to go to the streets. And once I was in San Jose, and one Christian guy came, and he was actually an Indian guy, but he was a converted to Christianity. And the preaching guy came and he said, "Oh, sir, please wait. Please take this Bible." I said, I know about God. I'm trying. There is no problem. I don't need this book. I said, no. Jesus is your savior. It's otherwise Jesus is savior. Oh, really? Okay, I know, but that's fine. But I have to go. But he didn't know that, I was very serious in my own life too, in spirituality. So then he said, okay, then let's say, he was continuously nagging me. So then I said, okay, you have so much time. So anyway, I was on business tour anyway in San Jose. And my family was not there. So okay, theek hai, itna kuch, matlab, you're inviting me. So let's have a small, quick discussion. I basically asked, so who's your God? I asked. Christ is God, he said. But then you guys said that Jesus is Christ, God. No, Jesus is God. No, tell me whether Jesus is God or Christ is God. No, Jesus Christ is God. Then he said, and he said, Jesus Christ will take you to heaven. Matlab, indirectly kya bol raha hai? If I don't follow Jesus Christ, then I'll go to hell. Is that what you meant? I said. No. See, Jesus is your savior. Jesus is the only savior, he said. If you don't So then I simply asked, simple question. My grandmother actually, is from a small village called Kondaparthi in Warangal district. She was a very nice lady. She was very well known for her magnanimous heart. Always she only helped people. She used to write some little bit Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, something, and she was very, very compassionate lady. She was when she left the body, the whole village actually really appreciated her. So I said, this lady, according to you, she doesn't know Jesus Christ. She never heard. So do you think that she will go to hell? If she goes to hell, then what does it mean? That means your God is so merciless that if you don't know me, then you will go to hell? Then he understood, Baba, this guy is not. So this is called threatening. If you don't surrender to Jesus, you will go to hell. Scaring people, God fear. We don't come to spirituality out of fear. Fear does not produce anything. Actually, there is a very good quote by Charles Chaplin. Love is enough for everything to conquer the world. We don't need fear, right? So, in fact, actually, Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of ISKCON, he was actually bombarded with the same question. Hey, Swamiji, you came here. We already have Christianity and so many other religions here. And one of the days we will see the interview also, very beautiful interview. And he said, I came here to give God consciousness. Jesus is also a guru. Because in fact, actually, if you see in Bible, the Last Supper, when the last day of, Jesus was about to leave, he was washing everybody's feet. And he says, I have so much to share, but you have not, you can't understand it today. So that is what Jesus said. Jesus is a guru. But what the followers have done? Jesus has given blood for you. So, if you don't come to Jesus, you go to hell. This is how they infuse fear, infuse, this bhayam and all that, and either you become God fear. So, if these younger generations, if they hear that, what will they do? They'll reject. This is God is, if he's so fearful, let me not go there. I'm better off not having God, right? So that's how. So did we believe in the God existence? Pray, kid, or God will have you killed. So they are saying, see, beta, बच्चे लोग सब लोग लाइन खड़े हो जाओ सिर्फ pray to God, that's all. No, don't ask questions. If you don't pray, you will go to hell. Yeah, so this is like forced to pray. So if these younger generations get this kind of experience, forget about having any direction in their life, right? So were our questions answered? There is I'll read this. Religious child. Mom, why did God let my friend Johnny die? And the mom is saying, no one knows but God. It's not for us to understand God. So, what will the child think if he hears this kind of an answer, right? God does whatever he wants, and we have to just simply accept it. It's just like, principal does whatever he wants, and we'll have to just accept it. So this book, Growing Up Godless, it gives ideas of, we let them choose their own conclusions because we want them to grow, and exercise their faculties of logic and reason. We give them the choice, we empower them. So nice language, but at the same time, would you leave your kids just like that? You would want to, of course, you would want them to, you want to become an agent of showing them the path. You don't have to walk their path, you don't have to force them their path, but the idea is that you at least show them, right? So these kind of books, if we don't teach about children about God, and schools anyway, schools do they teach? No schools teach, right? It's just a matter of time that the entire society eventually will become godless. Okay, and there are repercussions because of that. So does God exist? Maybe science is more powerful than God. Here, you see this picture here on the right hand side, science. So they put this science. There are people who are like got what do you call that? These are what do you call them? Yeah, they're physically challenged, and the science applies its magic, and boom, now they are happily playing. Now they put the religion, same thing. They all come together and pray. Nothing happens. They continue to learn. So this is how they are spreading. How religion is waste. Don't spend your time. Don't spend time in spirituality. Simply rely on science. I believe in higher powers, like I said, one of my friend, in France, right? But not God, right? One cannot prove that God doesn't exist, but science makes God unnecessary. So Stephen Hawking, is a big author, right? How many of you guys read his books or seen his movies? Yeah, some of you have read. So he's saying that God versus science. Until someone starts telling us lies, we are all born atheists. Maybe science is more powerful. The biggest invention that we have is our nice mobile phones themselves, right? If the mobile phone, with the mobile phone, right now today, we can control pretty much anything in life. The Google Acharya is there. He will give all the suggestions, right? And you can literally order anything. You can go to any place immediately. Nowadays, in India, I have been to India very recently because of a situation I had. All my relatives, they're all ordering. What is that? Like Grubhub equivalent. What is Zomato, tomato, something. Yeah, thumbs. Swiggy. Small kids, this age kids are ordering Swiggy. And the parents, suddenly somebody knocks and then give money, this idli has come. I didn't order, the kids are ordering. So, if you have this mobile phone, literally you can instantaneously order, instant gratification. I feel at the top of my world. I don't need anything. I am the Lord of what I survey. And that is the mentality. We don't emphatically say that, but our attitudes have become like that. Why do we need God? If everything is going smooth, we don't need God, right? So we want to, and the science is solving all these problems, the so-called science, So, I believe in higher powers and all these things. I know the Vedic scriptures, the Vedic wisdom has Ayurveda. Ayu means what? Life. Veda means knowledge. We discussed it, right? Veda means knowledge. So knowledge about health. In fact, you won't believe, my wife had to go through, I'm sorry to put you on spot, but she had to go through a surgery, and that doctor is saying, you do your Ayurvedic medicine. She also took Ayurvedic. Your Ayurvedic medicine actually slowed down a lot, he said. And he said, he prescribed pranayama. He said, for life you do pranayama, you don't have to see me anytime. This is coming from these doctors, those who have realized. So this Vedic wisdom has so much of wealth, we don't understand the value of it, right? By the way, next week we are going to question more on the Vedic scriptures and their authenticity and all that. So source of wisdom, and on top of it, where is the source of my information coming about spirituality? Any guesses? Whatever we know about spirituality today, what is that information coming from? Where is that coming from? From the Vedas? नहीं, जो हमारा life में, we are not reading Vedas directly right now. I am not reading Vedas right now. Bhakti channel, ठीक है, like TV, right? Some book, Google. My mom knows all these Puranas, but you know what? Where she got all this knowledge from? In Andhra Bhumi, there will be one in a section where they will put in a serial format all the Puranas. From there she got her knowledge. So these are the books. These we are getting from these kind of story books. This Swati magazine, this magazine, that magazine. That's where we are getting from. What will be the faith? Our Ramayana matlab kya hai? So somebody told me. B.R. Chopra का ही था नहीं वो रामायण का वो प्रेम सागर है नहीं रामानंद सागर so Ramanand Sagar or this Annamaya Nagarjuna or in famous in Vijayawada, I've literally seen in my childhood in Vijayawada, I went to my aunt's place, they had literally NTR's photo as Krishna. Okay, it is not the other photos that I saw, NTR's photo. Now then these are the sources of our our knowledge, and they made how many of in Mahabharata there are Dushta Chatushtayam. Dushta matlab nice people, right? Very bad. They are epitome of badness. And Chatushtayam matlab 4. Can you name? Can you all anybody name? Duryodhan, Dushashan, Shakuni and Karna. Karna is there. Karna is a very interesting personality. We will examine in detail again in future. Karna is a Dushta Chatushtayam. And our Mr. N.T. Ramarao has made a movie called Dana Veera Shura Karna. Dana Veera Shura Karna. This is the result. You are glorifying Karna. who is actually, according to Mahabharata, Vyasadeva is a epitome of all bad qualities. Okay? It's a very interesting conversation. We'll go someday. The time doesn't permit today. So this is if you see this kind of things, what will happen? For example, Draupadi. Right? There is a guy called Devdutt Patnaik. How many of you have seen or heard of his lectures or books? Nobody? Okay. This guy is criticizing all the, for example, he's criticizing Draupadi Devi. Nobody can understand the chastity of Draupadi Devi. In fact, in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said, in Srimad Bhagavatam, when all of them were leaving from Hastinapur to Dwarka, the Rukmini and all, these queens asked Draupadi Devi, please tell us, how do we chastely serve Narayan, our husband, my husband? So it is coming. So Draupadi Devi is giving instructions on how one should be chaste. And she is telling to Rukmini. She is telling Rukmini. Rukmini is who? Rukmini is Sakshat Lakshmi Devi. So she is telling Lakshmi Devi how to serve the Narayana. So that is the exalted position of Draupadi Devi. And these guys are giving all kinds of nonsensical remarks. And all the people in that auditorium, if you see, you search, you will find so many. There is one guy called Zakir Naik. How many of you have heard of him? Oh, one person here. Zakir Naik. All nonsense. He will use our own Bhagavad Gita. He will use our own Vedas, and he will say that we are wrong. So just be careful. So these Vedic scriptures are not like arms that you use it on anybody else. They are there for us to provide the guiding path. Right? So these kind of people are the sources. Now when you see, examine their lifestyles. See what now, he is working, Nagarjuna's dad is ANR. How many of you know? Akkineni Nageshwara. All through his life he acted in so many devotional movies. So at least South Indians may know. Others may not know. So he acted in all devotional services. And NTR acted as Krishna. But what is the use? There is dancing with Sri Devi. Their life versus what they are doing, has no relation. These are the people are the sources of our information. If there is a doctor, and the doctor says don't smoke, and he is a chain smoker, what is the use? He will tell you not to smoke. But he himself is hurting. What is the use of that doctor, right? It is not about telling others. It is about what we are doing with the knowledge ourselves. So that is very, very crucial. And on top of it, today's role models, they have great opinions. Mr. Shah Rukh Khan is saying, I feel very strongly about souls who are misguiding people in the name of religion. Here comes, he is saying he is feeling so much for everybody who is being misguided on religion. His movies are not misguiding us, right? Pathan, he is acting and is dancing like anything. That is not misguiding us. And guess what happened to his son or whatever? Let's not even get into it. Let's not even waste time. So what kind of a right he has to comment on people who are genuinely trying to understand the meaning of life, trying to worship the Lord. What kind of Kamal Hassan is saying? What is he saying? I can read it here. Yeah. People ask me, is yours an atheistic principle? And boldly I reply, no. Atheism is my tool. Humanism is my principle. Kamal Hassan greatly, very, very humanitarianism, manavatvam, right? What kind of humanitarianism exists without acknowledging the Lord, the God? You donate, let's say, 10,000 rupees, or for 10,000 people I am donating, Annadanam. Annadanam matlab kya hai? Charity of giving food, let's say. That doesn't mean you're God, or that humanitarianism is there. Where did you get the grains from? Where did you get the food from? Did you manufacture in a chemical laboratory the grain, the seeds, the food, the grains? You donate and serve, and 10,000 people, and you created, and then you feel like, it's like this. Somebody knocks on your door. As soon as you open, he directly walks in. He goes to your refrigerator, takes all the things out, and he gives it to all the beggars and everybody, and says, I'm Mahan, I'm great. Is that a good proposition? It is your refrigerator. It is your home. It is you bought everything, and this guy comes, walks in, straight, takes all these things and gives it to him and says, I am great. I am Mahan. What kind of that? What kind of humanitarianism if you do not, you yourself, you are not acknowledging. Humanitarianism is a byproduct of being spiritual. It's just a byproduct of devotional service. Bhakti, if you are really a true devotee, humanitarianism is a byproduct. No devotee, they say Manava Sevaye, Madhava Seva. Why Manava Sevaye, Madhava Seva? Why can't it be Madhava Seva, Manava Seva? Huh? Actually, we don't read between the lines. Only if you do the seva, of course, if you do the seva to Manavas, it is Madhava. But Madhava Seva also. If you want to nourish a tree, would you pour water to each leaf? Or would you pour it to the root? Root. If you pour to the root, naturally everything happens. But we don't know, you don't understand. Manava Sevaya, Madhava Sevaya. How many, for example, Ajim Premji hai. Right now we have, who's the richest person? Not Elon Musk, let's say Warren Buffett. Or, Microsoft, he is very known for philanthropy. Bill Gates. Very, very, very well known for philanthropy. Lots of money he donates. Right? Let's say he donates, Ajim Premji donate kiya itna money. Every paper will, social media, the media will take a picture and put it on the main things. Now, how many plates of, for example, in Tirupati itself, how many plates of prasadam is served in TTD? Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam. Anybody has been and ate prasadam there? First class prasadam. First class prasadam. When we were actually literally, one of my friend was, last time when we went, one of my cousin ran late and he ate in Bhimas. And then he came, we dragged him into this. And he ate in TTD. It will be very rush fast. First class quality food. Daily 20 lakh people are fed. Or more than that, in fact. Right? Anywhere, every day they are chapping in the newsletter. We are doing this thing. Or, for example, if you go to Mantralayam or, for example, even Udupi, in fact, the Udupi Matka, the sannyasi, the leader, his name is, Vishweshwara Tirth Maharaj. He personally comes and serves people, everybody, and ensures the quality standards are maintained. Every day his paper it comes in the news, right? You go to ISKCON temple, you have this project called Akshay Patra, and also in ISKCON many temples. They serve across the whole world lakhs and lakhs of prasadam. And not what kind of a prasadam? Not even in the inflation. You go to an ISKCON temple, local temple, on an Ekadashi day, for example, you get quinoa. Prasadam matlab not like in South India, little bit prasadam you can smell and eat, not that much. A good plate of quinoa. Quinoa matlab malum hai na? Quinoa versus bag of rice, which one is costlier? Quinoa. Paneer versus some potatoes, which one is costlier? You get paneer. You get paneer. And it is done in mass distribution. Every day they are putting in a TV show. Oh, we are serving this much. A genuine devotee never advertises. In fact, you will see in the temple when they do this, many people actually say in the board, right? They say anonymous. A true devotee want to be in the background. Like Kalyani Garu, I was calling her and asking, thanking her. She is not worried about that. She is worried about the plate there and she is doing the seva there. A real genuine devotee never looks for publicity. These so-called humanitarians wants to use, they want publicity. Kamal Hassan, he has started his, what is that project? Whatever. He will put it on the thing, there will be website, there will be media coverage, and obviously he is an actor. By the way, when I talk about these people, I am a big fan of Kamal Hassan, by the way. I am not against this personality. I am against he is an actor, artistic expression, love it. But it has nothing to do with he has no right to say, because he is a celebrity, he is bombarding these ideas. And what happens? The youth takes, wow. There is anyway, so you can see there, you can see, even though I don't, what is that? Even though I don't? Personally believe in the Lord. Try to behave as though he was watching. Yeah, correct. Right? So, correct. So, these are the people that sometimes many times this question also comes. When we do, especially in the temples, abhishekam. Again, this came in PK movie also, if you remember. So much of honey, so much of ghee, curd, milk, itna sab, why can't you just go feed the needy people? This is a typical question that instead of pouring on the Lord, why can't you do that? Right? So what does that mean? If we ask that kind of a question, then a simple analogy that we can do ourselves. Why do I wear branded shoes? Nike. Why can't I wear Bata chappal? Bata chappal is what? 20 rupees. Nike shoes is 5,000, 6,000, right? In India, rupees. At least here, anytime we go to that mall, what is that mall we go? Allen Mall, famous. If that is our new temple. If we want to find ourselves, everybody on a Thanksgiving day, everybody is there. Why can't I, Baba, buy a Bata chappal? Na? Why you have to go and buy Nike shoes? Prabhuji, kya baat kar rahe ho, yaar? That is different. I have Audi car or Tesla now. Why do you need Tesla? You could have bought a beaten down Toyota. Right? Dono mein farak rehta hai na? Why? No. Now Prabhuji are doing more. Makeup for Mataji's makeup industry, the amount of money that is spent, the whole world can be fed on that. When that comes, no. Now Prabhuji, you are going into the sensitive area. Don't come. And even not only Mataji, even men, we buy gadgets. एक कंप्यूटर नहीं, 2 कंप्यूटर. उसके बाद में ये चाहिए, वो चाहिए, इतना चाहिए, ये सब चाहिए, वो सब चाहिए. Why, if with the amount of money men spend on these gadgets, they can actually feed the entire planet, not just Earth. Multiple planets they could probably feed. So when it comes to us, there's a problem. When it is God, no problem, right? I'll tell you a simple thing to question ourselves. Let us say you go work hard and you bring salary to home. And that day you had the salary, and you, while coming from the office to the home, as a father, for example, I'm saying, or mother also, she or he brings a nice chocolate for the kid. And as soon as the kid opens the door, you come in and then you give this, because you felt happy, right? And you gave that. And the kid opens the chocolate, and just about when he is about to eat, he will turn around and, Dada or Mama, take a small tiny bit. How much of happiness that gives? When a child gives, it is your chocolate, it is you bought it, it is your money, it is your hard work, but the child is giving it back to you, a small tiny. The happiness that you derive on that day cannot be equated to multiple zillion promotions you get. How many of you agree? Right? A mom, for example, a small kid comes and gives, Mama, this is for you. How much happiness mother feels? Can you equate that to anything? Can you trade your position for anything else in the world for that? So much of happiness. When the same little, from Ganga water, you take the water and pray and pour it to the same Ganga, what are you going to lose? Ganga, are you the inventor of Ganga? No. Similarly, doing abhishekam, this yogurt or honey is a way to thank that express. Service, seva is an expression of love. Everybody repeat. Seva is an expression of love. It is an expression of love. That is the reason why mother is getting up in the middle of the night and serving the kid. Father is going, taking multiple flights to make sure that he wins the bread so that he takes care of the family. Seva is an expression of love. Right? When you understand that, you will not question these things. Right? So, very, very important. These role models, appreciate them and like them for their area of their expertise. No problem. Nobody has any questions. If there's a roadside, some guy is going, you will call him. Baba, मेरे को यहाँ पे थोड़ा दर्द हो रहा है. That guy will say, why? Why are you telling me? You go to a doctor, chiropractor or whatever, right? Because he is an expert in that area? No. You go ask that expert. But when it comes to the subject matter of God, everybody is ready to give their gyan. Everybody, every term they can give. So let us actually see very, very important, another important point here to understand. This we can discuss this later. Okay, let's actually go into, yeah. So our hero has come. How many of you have been a fan of him in the past? Yeah, I was a fan. Okay, this guy is, for those of you who don't speak or don't know Telugu, or he's a Tollywood and Bollywood director. How many of you have seen Rangila and all these movies? Right? He is a Muslim. This guy is a he takes pride in being an atheist. So what I'm going to do is, for those of you who cannot understand, I'm going to help. Okay?
మీరు నాస్తికులు కదా? మీరు
Yeah.
దేవుని నమ్మరు.
You don't believe in God. I said, yes, absolutely. I don't believe.
ఓకే. నమ్మకపోవడానికి రీజన్ ఏమైనా ఉందా సార్?
Is there any reason why you don't believe in God?
కన్వీనియన్స్ అని. ఎందుకంటే దేవుని నమ్మితే నేను చాలా పాపాలు చేయలేను.
ఓహో, ఓకే.
So convenience. If I start believing in God, I cannot do sins. I cannot do sins. I cannot do,
పాపాలు చేయడానికి ఇష్టం ఉంటుంది కాబట్టి దేవుని నమ్మను.
because I like to do sinful activities.
చేయడం కోసం దేవుని నమ్మట్లేదు.
That's why I don't like.
ఎందుకంటే వాళ్ళ దృష్టిలో పాపం ఏంటనేది, పాపం అనేది రిలేటివ్ వర్డ్ కదా. మీరు ఎవరి దృష్టిలో, ఇప్పుడు దేవుని నమ్మిన కాడి నుంచి పాపాలు చేసినప్పుడు వాళ్ళు గిల్ట్ ఫీల్ అవ్వాలి.
ఓకే.
దాన్ని దేవుని నమ్మకపోతే మా ఇష్టం వచ్చినట్టు బతకచ్చు. అందుకని కన్వీనియన్స్ కోసం నేను ఆ పద్ధతి అవలంబించాను.
ఒక రకంగా కరోనా లాంటిది ఇట్లా నమ్మకం ఒక మెసేజ్ అనుకోవచ్చు అండి, దేవుడు పంపిన నేను అనుకోవచ్చా?
నా
So you use the word papalu, because I can't do sinful activities. Bad things. Yeah, papam is sin. Sinful activity. What he said, you know what? Because I cannot look at your friend's wife. He said, I can't look at Pakkodi wife. I cannot look at a wife. That means, if you see the gravity of that statement, very, very gross. Means if we accidentally happen to go in front of him, he would not hesitate to eye on my mother or my sister. Would not even hesitate. That's what he's saying, right? Because I cannot eye on somebody else's wife, hence for convenience I reject God.
ఫీలింగ్ ఏంటంటే, ఇప్పుడు దేవుడా నేచరా లేకపోతే ఏంటా అనేది మనకి ఏదో ఒక అన్ఎక్స్పెక్టెడ్ థింగ్ అనేది జరుగుతూనే ఉంటుంది. సునామీ వస్తుంది, ఎర్త్క్వేక్ వస్తుంది, తుఫాన్ వస్తుంది. అలాగే కరోనా అని ఇంకొకటి ఆ జాబితాలో జాయిన్ అయింది. అఫ్కోర్స్ ఫస్ట్ టైం జరిగింది కాబట్టి మనం ఇంత విపరీతమైన ఒక సిచ్యువేషన్ ఏర్పడింది.
So he also knows Adi Daivika problems, tsunami, all those things. He's acknowledging. He knows that is in a deep problem too. But it's just that his take is different at life. Okay. Again, I'm not against him per se. I'm a fan of him only. But I am against some of his views. He has no right. Happily do your moves. Just like the way he says, watch my movies. Don't judge me on other things. He can, but he is creating the so-called ism now. Ramuism, He has his own ism now. And people are, if you see the YouTube, the comments, the whole newer generation is, wow. This guy is brilliant. Let's see.
ఓకే.
సో మన కంట్రోల్ లేని ఏదైనా సరే అది నేచర్ నుంచి వచ్చింది. అలాంటప్పుడు దేవుడు సృష్టి అవుతుంది అది.
ఓకే. ఇప్పుడున్న దేవుళ్ళు అందరిలో మీకు
now what he said is, all the problems that are happening is coming from the nature only, right? So now nature से आया, मतलब इसका मतलब क्या है? God himself has created it. So actually even every atheist cannot be a pure 100% atheist. He indirectly is still saying God is there now, even though he takes pride in being an atheist.
దేవుడు అంటే ఎవరు పవర్ఫుల్ అంటారండి?
Which God is powerful? The question is asked.
టెస్ట్ ఏంటంటే, ఇప్పుడు మనుషులు అందరికన్నా క్వాలిటీ లైఫ్ ఎవరికి ఉంది? అమెరికాలో ఉంది. మిలిటరీ మైట్ కానీ, ఎకనామిక్ మైట్ కానీ, హై స్టాండర్డ్ క్వాలిటీ ఆఫ్ లైఫ్ కానీ, మొత్తం ప్రపంచంలో అందరూ కలిసి ఏ దేశానికి వెళ్ళాలని ఉందరా అంటే అమెరికా పేరు చెప్తారు కదా. అప్పుడు అమెరికన్స్ నమ్మే దేవుడు బెస్ట్ దేవుడు అని నా ఫీల్. ఏది ఆ లెక్క.
So he's giving an idea that which God is better. Then he's saying everybody talks about America. So in my opinion, the popular vote is many people from America, whatever they accept that God is correct. Highest.
ఓకే.
కాకపోతే ఇండివిజువల్గా మీరు ఎవరైనా సరే దేవుని నమ్మటానికి ముఖ్య కారణం ఏంటి? ఒక వాళ్ళ ఇంట్లో ఆ దేవుడిని పూజించారు, లేకపోతే ఫలానా దేవుడికి దండం పెట్టినప్పుడు వాళ్ళకి ఏదో మంచి జరుగుతుంటుంది, అప్పటి నుంచి అలా ఫాలో అయిపోతూ ఉంటారు. దట్ ఈస్ ద యూజువల్ హ్యాబిట్ ఆఫ్ పీపుల్. ఒక్కొక్కసారి ఇప్పుడు రెహమాన్ ఉన్నాడు అనుకోండి, ఏఆర్ రెహమాన్ దిలీప్ తన పేరు, తను హిందూ. ఇప్పుడు సాయిబాబా బాలాజీ టెంపుల్కి వెళ్ళే అతను ఒక పర్టికులర్ టైంలో ఇస్లాం తీసుకున్నాడు. ఇస్లాం తీసుకోగానే సూపర్ హిట్ అయిపోయాడు.
ఓకే.
ఓకే, అప్పుడు ఒకసారి నేను మోహన్ బాబు గారికి చెప్పాను, సో మీరేమో సాయిబాబా అని అంటున్నారు, రెహమాన్ అలా అనేవాడు, ఇస్లాం తీసుకుంటే అతనేమో పెద్ద హిట్ అయిపోయాడు, అది ట్రై చేసి కదా అని చెప్పారు.
So he's saying, because Rahman is told another example, he's giving some data points, okay? He's saying Rahman was originally he was a Hindu. Now he has changed his faith to Islam. Now he has become big hit. So he's telling another actor saying that, okay, why don't you also, you are saying Sai Baba, why don't you go to Islam, you will become more famous. So he's saying, people are very, very fragile, and they are just like that, changing these religions anyway, and they are becoming. So by popular vote, so he's bringing in the democratic. What is democracy? Popular vote wins. If 5 people are there, let us say 5 of us will go into a room. Today we'll agree, you, me and all, 1 plus 1 is 3 bhaiya. 1 plus 1 is 3. We 5 will agree, and that extends, and another 50 people, 100 people come. We all agree 1 plus 1 is 50, the 3. Does that change the truth? Srila Prabhupada was asked the same thing, same question. He was asked, how many people are there? Very less people, whereas many people. In the entire percentage of Dallas population, anybody knows? Anybody knows about Dallas population? Can anybody fire up Google Acharya? Because we rely on him anyway. Huh? 1.4 million. Yeah, something it will be in 2 million range. 2 to 3 million. Right? What is the percentage of people who are sitting here versus 2 million people? Right? Who are trying to understand the meaning of life? Very few people, right? Does it mean that they are correct and we are wrong? How many people there is at least in India we can understand this. There is IIT, prestigious universities. At least when we were studying, that was topmost. Yeah, everybody knows IIT. At least in Andhra and Telangana there is also called ITI. Yeah. So if a guy goes to ITI and guy goes to IIT, who is considered the top notch and who is ITI is actually considered very low, from the academical achievement standpoint, right? Everybody knows that, right? So how many people, if you take a village, one person or city, 1 or 2 people may make it to IIT. So many people will go to ITI. So that doesn't mean the ITI is correct, is great. So you cannot apply just like that. And that's why Prabhupada was asked. Prabhupada said, we are in the mission of creating one moon. We don't care about millions of stars. Who cares about million stars? We want one moon. Right? One moon is what is we are looking for. Quality is what you want, not just Maam Janta, this thing. So anyway, let's keep going.
భలే చెప్తావయ్యా వర్మ. పాయింట్ ఏంటంటే, మీకు దేవుడి మీద భక్తి నిజంగా ఉన్న వాళ్ళందరికీ భయం ఎక్కువ ఉంటుంది, అవునా కాదా ఉందా అని.
ఓకే.
సో మీకు వన్ ఆఫ్ ద రీజన్
కన్ఫ్యూజన్లోనే ఉంటారు
100%.
ఓకే.
మీరు అడిగిన క్వశ్చన్కి ఆన్సర్ చేయకపోతే, ఇప్పుడు రెహమాను షిర్దీ బాబాని బాలాజీని వదిలేసి అల్లాని తీసుకుంటే ఇంకా పెద్ద హిట్ ఏంటంటే హిందువులు ఏం ఆన్సర్ ఇస్తారు నాకు దానికి?
ఓకే.
So what he's saying is, Rahman, instead of approaching Ganesha or Govind Krishna, he approached Allah and he got more success. What kind of answer will he give? And now he is getting into the realm. He is a director. He can understand the audience and deliver movies happily. Nobody has problems. Now he is saying all the devotees or spiritual people are coward people. What is he saying? Coward people. There is a book. How many of you know Russia is a communist country? Communist country. There is a book called, what is that probably? Brick, what is that? Blood. I forgot, I just went blank. Daring, the dare. In fact, there is a wonderful కీర్తన్ భజహురే మన శ్రీనందనందన అభయ చరణార విందరే. A devotee of the Lord is abhaya charanara vindara. He is approaching the fearless lotus feet of the Lord, and hence he is also fearless. Devotees never get scared. He's saying he's very cowardly people. You know, he's saying very, very cowardly people. No, there are, if you read that book, if you, the book I'm going to tell you, if you read that book, we will think what kind of people we are. In a communistic country, salted bread. Thank you. If you get it, please read that book, especially even the kids. It will be little graphic, but nevertheless, if you see the amount of how daringly in a communistic country you cannot even bring the word God. You cannot use the word God, you will be jailed. Here is a story of devotees who have been jailed and persecuted, manhandled and abused in these jails. So many stories from Germany also. These are the real devotees. Never they were cowardly. You see what I'm saying? We talk about Bhagat Singh for the amount of things that he has done for the law, for the country. He has sacrificed his life. No different. In fact, more. It is for Bhagat Singh to do it, for India is okay. It is in a Russian country, it's a communistic country. No, cannot talk about God, and these people are going through that, and they did not hesitate to be in the forefront. Yeah.
మీరు ఇంకోటి గమనించారా, హిందువులు క్రిస్టియన్స్ అవుతారు, ముస్లిమ్స్ అవుతారు, వాళ్ళు ఎప్పుడు హిందువులు అవరు. నేను ఎప్పుడు ఇలా క్రిస్టియన్ హిందూ మతం తీసుకుంటాం కానీ ముస్లిం హిందూ మతం తీసుకుంటాం. మీరు అన్నారు ఎప్పుడైనా అది?
ఎందుకంటారు? ఎందుకు జరుగుతుంది?
So he's saying, I have seen our Hindus converting to all kinds of religions, but I've never seen some other religion guy coming to Hinduism. He doesn't know. Doesn't mean that that is the truth. You understand? He's saying, so that means we are weakest philosophy, we are the minority people, maximum world is doing Christianity, they are great, and that is God is the correct God. That's the kind of, he's kind of poking and insulting. These are the people, you say Mera Bharat Mahan, and this is the kind of people who we're talking about. And these are celebrities.
ఎందుకంటే వాళ్ళు మనకన్నా ఎక్కువ దైవభక్తులు కాబట్టి.
ఓకే.
మనకి దైవం మీద వాళ్ళకన్నా తక్కువ డిగ్రీలో ఉంటుంది, అందుకనే మనం మతాలు మారుస్తూ ఉంటాం. అదే.
So in fun sense, I actually agree with him, because we don't have a strong foundation. We talked about foundation. So he's taking the anomalies, which happens to be in this case many people, and he's using that as an example. Actually, it is an insult for us. Once we have the strong wisdom, these things, these tornadoes cannot shake. Yeah.
కానీ వీళ్ళల్లో ఇప్పుడు మీరు చెప్తున్నాను కదా సార్, ఇప్పుడు ABC కేటగిరీ అనుకున్నాం. ఏ దేవుడికి ఒక దేవుడు, బి దేవుడికి సి దేవుడికి అనుకున్నాం. వీళ్ళు మా దేవుడు అంటే గొప్ప, మా దేవుడు అంటే గొప్ప అని చెప్పేసి కొట్టుకుంటూ ఉంటారు కదా. నిజంగా వాళ్ళ వాదంలో ఏది కరెక్ట్ అంటారు?
దానికి ప్రూఫ్ అదండి.
The question he asked is, let's say there are 3 types of categories of people, A, B, C. And A going to God A, B going to God B, C going to God C. And each one is saying their God is better, then their God is better, and their God is better. Who is correct is the question.
నేను చెప్పేది ఇప్పుడు ఆల్రెడీ మనకి వరల్డ్లో ప్రూవ్ అయింది ఏంటి, క్రిస్టియన్ జీసస్ క్రైస్ట్కి సంబంధించిన దేశాలన్నీ అందరికన్నా మోస్ట్ పవర్ఫుల్ పొజిషన్లో ఉన్నాయి. యూరప్ అన్నా యుఎస్ అన్నా అది. చైనా ఆఫ్ కోర్స్ దేవుడే లీడ్ అనుకోండి, దేవుడు లేని రాజ్యం కూడా చాలా పవర్ఫుల్. కమ్యూనిస్ట్ డజంట్ బిలీవ్ ఇన్ గాడ్. దెన్ దాని తర్వాత మిడిల్ ఈస్ట్, ఇస్లాం, సౌదీ అరేబియా, వెరీ రిచ్ కంట్రీస్. దాని తర్వాత ఉన్నాం మనం ఎక్కడో. అప్పుడు మీరు ఆ డిగ్రీలో హ్యుమానిటీలో ఏ దేవుని కొలిస్తాడు, ఎంత బాగున్నారు అన్న దాంట్లో మీకు ఆల్రెడీ వాళ్ళు క్యూ అయిపోయారు అక్కడ. అంతే కదా. దాని తర్వాత మీరు
So what he's saying is, America, everybody understood, most of you? Anybody didn't understand? Basically he's saying, majority of the population in America, they are following Christianity. The next big majority of the population in Middle East countries, they are following Islam. So, and the left out is majority is only we are the least, because they are the powerful gods. So that is the real God. God means they, not us, because they are popular. Again, same analogy. democracy. 4 fools come together and say 1 plus 1 is 3. Then that becomes the truth. Will that become the truth?
స్త్రీల్లో ఎవరికో వైష్ణోదేవి ఇష్టం, ఇంకోళ్ళ ఎవరికో హనుమంతుడు ఇష్టం, ఇంకోళ్ళ ఎవరికో రాముడు ఇష్టం, ఇంకోళ్ళ ఎవరికో మన సిద్ధి సాయిబాబా ఇష్టం. మరి లంబాడి వాళ్ళకి దేవుడు ఉన్నాడు లేదు నాకు తెలీదు. ఇలా ఒక్కొక్కడు ఒక్కొక్క దేవుడు నమ్ముతా పోతారు దాని తర్వాత. సో వాళ్ళకున్న నమ్మకంలో ఏది బెటరు అని అనుకుంటే మనం ఓవరాల్గా మీరు కంపేర్ చేస్తే ఇప్పుడు నేను చెప్పిన ప్రూఫ్. తర్వాత ఇండివిజువల్గా ఒక్కొక్కడికి ఏం మంచి జరిగింది ఒక నమ్మటం మలానని
So he's saying, somebody will have a personal, their God 1, God 2, God 3, Vishnu, Krishna, Rama, and he's saying some sect called Lambadi sect. They don't know. I don't even know what kind of God they have. And China, communist country, they have no God. They are also flourishing. So that means any of these countries which are doing very well, their gods are best, not our God, the so-called gods. So easy to manipulate minds. And wow, Ramoism. If you see the comments, beautiful, amazing. And some Christian guys are now jumping. Wow, amazing. See, our God is the best God.
నమ్మకం కదా ఉంటే అప్పుడు వాడిని మనం జనరలైజ్ చేయలేము కాబట్టి వాడిని పర్టికులర్గా చూడాలి.
ఓకే ఓకే.
ఇప్పుడు నా కజిన్ ఒకడు
ఈస్ టాకింగ్ అబౌట్ హిస్ కజిన్.
నేను దేవుడిని నమ్మేవాడిని కాదు, నేను ఒకసారి సముద్రంలో ఈత కొడుతున్నప్పుడు ఆల్మోస్ట్ ఒక వేవ్లో చచ్చిపోయేవాడిని, బతికిపోయాను, అప్పటి నుంచి దేవుడిని నమ్ముతున్నా అన్నాడు. అంటే నేను అలాంటప్పుడు నువ్వు చచ్చిపోయావంటే చేపలు నేను తినే కదా, అప్పుడు చేపలని నాస్తికులు అయిపోవాలా అన్న. మా నోటి దగ్గర పూడు కొట్టించాడు దేవుడు అని.
So his logic is very silly logic. What he's saying is one of his cousin who was a strong atheist, was once swimming in the ocean somewhere, and he was about to die, but luckily he got saved, and since then that person started believing God. So then this guy is saying, "Arey, you could have been a nice feast for the fishes." So then the fishes should become atheists now. That is point.
So everything is relative and that absolute.
This is where the knowledge of what we discussed, ahara nidra bhayam aitunancha samanyametat pashubirnarana. If fish has a religion, why would we discuss? Why are we here? Fish has a religion, or fish has a greater faculties of inquiring about goals of life? Nothing. Eat, that's all, right? So but he is using, so this is what they use these kind of things, coin different concepts and say there is no God.
సంగతి ఉండదు.
అదే. ఓకే. అంటే ఒకటి సార్, మనిషికి మతం అవసరం లేదంటారా?
మతం,
so is there is no necessity of religion for human beings? That's the question asked.
అవసరం అంటే ఇప్పుడు మీకు మనిషిని డిసిప్లిన్ చేయడానికి ముఖ్యంగా 4 ఉపయోగిస్తారండి.
ఓకే.
రిలీజన్ అంటే మీకు ఫియర్ ఆఫ్ గాడ్, ఒకటి లీగల్ లా, ఒకటి మొరాలిటీ, మీ పక్కవాడి భార్యని చూడకూడదు, అది మారల్ ఎథిక్స్ అండ్ మొరాలిటీకి సంబంధించి 10 కమాండ్మెంట్స్.
She is again coming back to that. She is saying generally they use these 3 tools. What is it? One is religion. Second thing is morality. Third thing is legal, law, to control people, because I can't on a neighbor's wife. So this is the thing. Okay, this is what the intention is.
ఇప్పుడేంటి ఇక్కడ మనకి దేవుడు అనే భయం కానీ ఒక యూనిఫైయింగ్ ఫోర్స్ లేకపోతే సొసైటీని పట్టుకొని ఉండటం కష్టం.
రైట్.
ఎందుకంటే మీరు మినిస్టర్ని మీరు బ్లేమ్ చేస్తారు, చీఫ్ మినిస్టర్ని బ్లేమ్ చేస్తారు, ఆఫీసర్స్ని బ్లేమ్ చేస్తారు, కానీ దేవుడిని బ్లేమ్ చేయరు. ఎందుకంటే దేవుడికి ఆప్షన్ మనకు లేదు కాబట్టి. మహా అయితే ఒక దేవుడిని తీసి ఇంకో దేవుడు తెలియాలి, కానీ దేవుడే ఉంటాడు కదా ఫైనల్గా. సో ఐ థింక్ దేవుడు ఏదో చేస్తాడు, మనల్ని కాపాడుతాడు, లేకపోతే మనకేదో మంచి చేస్తాడు, లేకపోతే మన పాపం చేస్తే చెడ్డ చేస్తాడు, ఒక భయం, హోపు, ఇవన్నీ కలిపి ఒక ఏలియన్ ఫోర్స్ అనేది అవసరం.
ఓకే.
ఇన్ఫ్యాక్ట్
సో వాట్ ఈస్ సేయింగ్ ఈస్ religion is fear of God, oka bhayam. We have to create fear in people, and that is the idea. And a part of it is again, these are the ideas coming. Why? Because he is looking at majority of the people who have absolutely no deeper understanding of wisdom, spiritual life, and we just like that go like what do you call that, goats, what do you call that mentality. There's everybody going there to do. Because we don't have that, then he has happily, nicely taken nice fry of all our bejas, right?
Philosopher ఏమన్నాడంటే, if there was no God, it is necessary to create one another.
If there is no God, it is necessary to create one, because they know that things are not in control for sure. None of these people can acknowledge that everything is in their control. He cannot, Ram Gopal Verma cannot control a tip of his grey hair to become whatever. So hence he is saying there is a necessity to create God. So let's manufacture God. You know, even if there is no need for God. So that's how God is being. Unfortunately, the church has used God as a tool to also manipulate people. And that's why you get this fanatic ideas. That's why, you know, if you don't believe in Jesus, you go to hell. If you don't believe in Allah, jihad. This is the fanaticism. Fanaticism, matlab, if you don't agree to me, you'll be killed. These are the ideas that come from these kind of.
దేవుడు ఉన్నాడో నాకు తెలియదు కానీ దేవుడు సృష్టించాలి అవసరం మనిషికి ఉంటుంది. ఎందుకంటే అలాంటి ఒక అన్సీన్ ఫోర్స్ లేకపోతే ఇట్ బి డిఫికల్ట్ టు మెయింటైన్ డిసిప్లిన్ ఇన్ సొసైటీ.
అంటే సైన్స్ గొప్పదా లేకపోతే దేవుడికి సంబంధించి ఎలా చూసుకోవచ్చు కంపారిజన్ చేసుకుంటే?
ఇప్పుడు నా పాయింట్ ఏంటంటే దేవుడు, డెస్టినీ, కర్మ సిద్ధాంతం ఏదిమైతే మన కంట్రోల్లో లేదో మనం దాన్ని మ్యానిపులేట్ చేయడం, కంట్రోల్ చేయనప్పుడు దాని గురించి ఆలోచించడం అనవసరం.
సో హీ సేయింగ్ దోస్ దట్ వీ కెనాట్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్, whether it's karma siddhanta, whether it is God, whether it is these problems that we are getting, there is no need. So his inability to explore and go deeper, he's saying there is no need. If for example, the other day one of my son actually said, out of frustration, he was not able to understand calculus deeply. So he said, calculus is waste. Because you can't figure it out, what you will do, you will reject. Because you don't know the answer, then if you don't know the answer, you seek. Not that you reject. If there is a problem, let's say there is a problem with religion also, because religion also has been abused. If there is a problem, if you have a cataract eye, is the solution to poke the eye, remove the eye? Or remove the cataract? Which one is what is the ultimate solution? There is no problem with the eye. There is a cataract. If there is a problem with the eye, then would you poke it and say reject? Or would you save it? So this is the kind of mentality. I hope everybody is understanding, right?
సైన్స్ అనేది మనం సృష్టించింది, మనం అడ్వాన్స్ చేస్తుంది, మన థింకింగ్లోంచి వచ్చింది.
Now you saying science is our advancement. We'll talk about that in subsequent.
ప్రాక్టికల్ అప్లికేషన్స్లో మనం ప్రూవ్ చేస్తుంది. అందుకని
we are proving through our knowledge, through our intellectual power and advancing the science. Hence science is better. That's his idea. Right? When apple fell down, I would have eaten the apple. Isaac Newton questioned. Right? And then what is it? Gravity. That's how the Newton's laws of gravitational force, all those things came. So he went to the lab and created gravity? Oh, give me 20 grams of gravity now. Right? Did he create? It is an existing principle. He just questioned it, discovered it. What came from him? But this guy is saying, we are creating so many things. Hence science is better.
దాని మీద మన శ్రద్ధ ఎక్కువ ఉండాలి. దేవుడు అనేది లక్ లాంటిది, ఉంటే ఉంటుంది లేకపోతే లేదు, మన కంట్రోల్ లేదు. అలాంటప్పుడు దాని గురించి ఆలోచించి టైం వేసేసుకోవాలి.
కానీ
నా ఉద్దేశంలో భక్తులు అందరూ చాలా ఈగోయిస్టిక్ పీపుల్. ఎందుకంటే
again he's coming back. All the devotees, bhaktulu, are most egoistic people on the planet.
ఇన్ని లక్షల కోట్ల జీవరాశులు మనుషులతో కూడా కలిపి దాములు, మెడతలు అన్ని దేవుడిగా సృష్టించండి.
Now on one hand he says God doesn't exist. Now he is saying all the living entities are created by God himself, right? He's saying, yeah.
ఎంతమందిలో నన్ను ఒక్కనే బాగా చూసుకో అని ఒక భక్తుడు ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ చేశాడంటే వాడికి విపరీతమైన తలపొగరు ఉండాలి.
So what he said is, so many living entities are created by God, but among all these people, if a human being is saying only God take care of me, that he must be the most headstrong. Talapoguru means headstrong person, most egoistic person. That is what he is declaring. So devotees, according to him, spiritual people are the most egoistic people. He can do his job. He can do his best job. Nowadays his skill also fell in the film industry. Now he is on us right now because he doesn't know what to do.
అందరిలో నేను ఒక్కనే స్పెషల్ అని. ఇప్పుడు తిరుపతిలో లైన్లో నుంచి ప్రతి ఒక్కడు నన్నే బాగా చూసుకుంటాడు కదా. అందరినీ బాగా చూసుకొని ఎవడు కోరుకోడు.
అవును,
లైన్లో ఉన్న అందరినీ సమానంగా చూసి ఎవడని కోరుకుంటాడా? కోరుకోడు. నన్ను బాగా చూసుకుంటాడు.
స్వార్థం.
స్వార్థం. సో
So what he's saying is, Tirupati line, everybody who's standing, everybody is praying for himself. He's the most egoistic person. They are not worried about that. Again, a part of it we may have to agree, because that is how close-centered we have become. But our wisdom says Vishwamanava Saubhratrutvam, means universal brotherhood. It is, in fact, there is nothing called Hinduism. Hindu, the word Hindu itself is coined by British people, because the people on the Sindhu river on the other side refer to the people on this side as Sindhu, and eventually it became Hindu. They coined Hinduism or India. It doesn't exist. Our dharma is called Sanatana Dharma, eternal, for a lack of a better thing, eternal life is what our Sanatana Dharma. We are not called Hinduisms. We are, like he is saying, we have Sarve Jana Sukhino Bhavantu. If anybody asks, is there any hidden agenda? Radha Krishna Garu is bringing all of us together like this, not because popularity comes, not because some organizational funding will happen, not because he will gain anything. It is, if you have happiness, there is only one agenda behind all this, for me at least. It is for my own purification. Zero money, zero interest of anything. It is a way of giving my share, contributing to the community. That's all. There is no hidden agenda. There is no hidden agenda that one should become, you should put tilak, you should put dhoti, you should be only like this. Only if you come to Krishna temple, I will respect. Nothing. Devotees have true devotees have no intentions, no hidden agenda. They are simply doing it for their own purification. And this guy is saying, all these devotees are most egoistic people. That is what he is saying. And he say that there is no devotees that he has seen from Hinduism going to other things, other religions. This is a kirtan happening in Dublin ISKCON temple. Mr. Ram Gopal Verma hasn't seen this. This is madness for Krishna. When you express love for Krishna, this is what happens. They are all he has never seen. He is saying, our people, like his mentality is saying, nobody has come. This is the question that was asked by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada said, I have not come to convert people. It's easy to give money and then give some benefits and you can convert. It's not about conversion, it is transformation of heart. Sanatana Dharma is about transformation of heart, not simple money-minded number game of conversions. See, this is from Russia, the communist country. And this is from our neighboring country, Pakistan. Please see. Okay. You saw that ISKCON Pakistan came on their official channel. See Urdu there? Believe it or not, we have just about Tulsa is, how far is Tulsa from here? Maybe 200 kilometers, 200 miles, 80, yeah? Not Tulsa, sorry. Oklahoma, what is the city that starts with T? Tulsa only? It's 8 hours, huh? 4.5 hours, Prabhuji. Yeah, 4-5 hours. Oklahoma, we have a devotee. Maybe one day we could invite him. Oh, I forgot his name. Do you remember? Yeah. He is from Kuwait, Saudi Arabia. Everybody knows Saudi Arabia, right? The Makkah is there where? Saudi Arabia. It is capital punishment there, if you take anything. He is a living example. One day we'll invite him. He, all through his life, underground went and understood Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, everything. He can give lectures on Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. He practices chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Or Mr. Ram Gopal Verma mentality doesn't know. So once Prabhupada was asked the question, Britishers came and they stole everything, right? So Prabhupada said, they stole everything but they forgot one thing, the gem of India, Bhagavad Gita. So I came back to London to give that back. Because they stole everything but they forgot this real diamond. And today, Jagannath Rath Yatra is happening in London, main streets. It's happening in New York, Fashion Street, 5th Avenue. 50 blocks will be blocked for Lord of Jagannath to come onto the streets. 50, if you have experienced that, if you get to experience in New York Rath Yatra, out of the world. And 70% of the people are Americans who are attending that, not Indians. So that is the power. He doesn't know. And he is thinking conversion. It is not about conversion, it is about transformation of hearts. This is in Pakistan. And one more. And this is again, you will see, I'll quickly, yeah. You will see in the beginning itself. What is that? Russian language. This is from Russia.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda.
So we'll play this song maybe during the Prashadam time.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Everybody.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram,
See the population? We need these moons than the entire stars. That's what Prabhupada was aspiring for, right? So you can see that, and this is happening on the streets of Moscow, Russian country, communistic country. Yeah? So, we cannot be brainwashed. Many people say, this is all brainwashing, Prabhuji. What is this brainwashing? Nobody will get up at 4 a.m. for Mangala Arati and then go chant. Unless we have in our hearts, right? So this is not about transformation. This is not about, conversion. This is about transformation of hearts. Religions survive mainly because they brainwash the young. So once Prabhupada said, you guys brainwash. Yes, Prabhupada said, yes, we brainwash. We actually take the dirt out of your brain and wash you and make you normal. That is what he said. So, everybody is there, like our RGV sir. Everybody, every drunkard guy also will comment on God. In fact, one of my friend used to poke me and unnecessarily bring the topic always. And where is this happening? This is happening in Las Vegas in a sports bar. Unfortunately, we have to go as a part of the corporate things. When we have all hands meetings, our sales kick off, we go to Las Vegas. They will invite us to a sports bar. And that guy wants to fully drink and he says, Srini, let's talk about Krishna now. Because he's in a mood. And that guy says, Srini, you know why Krishna likes peacock? Then I already understood. This guy is going to this it. And he says, Krishna loves eating and killing peacocks. He will say anything. Nonsense. He will say anything. I have not seen anybody converting to, something. Or for my own convenience sake, just so that I can eye on others' wives and mothers, I will reject God. These are the kind of people. This is the media. This is the media that is bombarding these ideas. So let's actually examine. I'll skip all this. And again, unfortunately, we are always bombarded with so many, recently again, when I was coming back from India, when I went to India because of the situation, right? In the airport, I bought a few books. And when I was going through, after many years, I am going through equivalent of Barnes and Nobles. So many versions of Bhagavad Gita. Everybody uses Bhagavad Gita to tell their things. Even our favorite guy is there, the Mr. Joker. I don't know if any fans. If you are really stressed out, that guy, how many of you have seen? He is saying, what is this book? No questions, only doubts. I don't know, I have to really doubt him. Now, the guy has escaped even Indian jurisdiction, bought some cheaper land in somewhere in, and he created United States of Kailash. So, okay, so everybody has their thing. I'm telling you, nobody has written. Only the person who has written is Lord Ganesh. Who has written Vedic wisdom? Bhagavad Gita is written by whom? Ganesh. Who recorded it? Vyasadev. Who told it? Who spoke it? Sakshat Krishna, Bhagavan. In Bhagavad Gita you won't see Krishna Uvacha. Uvacha matlab said. Some Tom, Dick and Harry said, Tom, Dick and Harry said Uvacha. But what has been said? Bhagavan Uvacha. Right? When Krishna is speaking. Right? So who told, who spoke? Bhagavan. Who heard? Arjuna heard. Not this, And in the proper disciplic succession in Parampara, it was beautifully translated and presented in a Sampradayic form, in the form of Bhagavad Gita as it is. You get this, sometimes you have this special director's cut. You have a movie, because of the duration they'll cut it. But sometimes the director releases on OTT stream his own cut. So Bhagavad Gita as it is that director's cut. We'll get into the detail. So, don't be confused with so many of these things. This guy says this one, that guy says this one. How do we understand as it is? Right? When we ask general people about God, here is the God is love, God is light, God is nature, God is power. All these generic things are coming. It is like, that guy, how RGV was sitting nicely. This is not a, like Srila Prabhupada says, armchair, relaxed, conversation. Is that how Arjuna and Krishna was talking about Bhagavad Gita? Arjuna said, Krishna, I am not in a mood to fight today. Why don't you just throw some gyan? Let's discuss some Bhagavad Gita. Was that? 18 Akshohinis, means probably 3 billion, close to 3 billion equivalent. People were ready to fight. And they even blown, if you read Bhagavad Gita, first chapter, they have already blown the Shankha also. Akraman hone ka hai. Bas, there Krishna paused it. He paused the button. And Arjuna was in dilemma now. Not like armchair, and not like my friend in Las Vegas sports bar, saying, Krishna, why? Giving his own gyan. It's not like that. It is not, it's, I'll tell you, with yogic powers, a person can actually appear in 3 places simultaneously also. Simultaneously, he can appear in 3 places. Does it mean he will become God? If, for example, if Shurpanakha was to appear in Kali Yuga, she can beautifully change any time, into any form. She will be considered God in Kali Yuga. Probably Shurpanakha Amma. Or some, they have this Amma Bhagavan, or some Bhagavans are there. Or some guy is there, Kalki Bhagavan in Tamil Nadu. I'm sorry, if bogus. Crystal clearly, we need to go to the authentic scriptures and understand who is who. If we don't, then what will get simply cheated, right? So, just because, I can appear 3 places at the same time, or, as soon as I opened the rice bag, I saw the name, hence is God. Or, that guy will, in TV you'll see, boom, suddenly the Shivalingas will come. And then he'll do like this and then put ash. What is the use of ash? You go to a Nike store and go give this ash. He will give shoe, a nice thappad he will give, nothing else he will give. What is the use of this ash or anything? So we have to be, world is of people of cheated and cheaters. If we want to choose to become a cheated person, we go there. So it is very, very important to understand we go to the right resources, right sources. God is great, all these things are good. How God is great, nobody has an answer. Who is that God? Nobody has an answer. Let me just finish the ritual first. Even I had a friend of mine, my college, I went to Nagpur University. A very close friend of mine who was very atheist. You won't believe, that guy settled actually in Dallas itself. And that guy one day invited for his Gro Pravesham. I got, my heart almost came to the knees. What? Gro Pravesham? He was like RGV, he is number one atheist, but my very close friend of mine. We used to have nice debates, but I used to actually love him. Nothing. I asked him, अरे बाबा ये क्या कर रहे हो? Group operation क्या है? क्या चल रहा है तेरे साथ? अरे यार, I have bought it for 700K in Irving. 700K में जाने इतना इन्वेस्ट किया, कम से कम क्या है ये, $500 पुजारी आएगा कुछ तो करे, अगर गार्ड है तो भी वो भी खुश हो जाएगा ना, क्या है इसमें, राइट? अगर वो भी है तो वो भी खुश हो जाएगा. चलो, anyway I invested, translating, anyway I invested 700K on this home. What is the problem in $500? What does it take for example, what does it take for me to be a devotee like this? Put external show. This kurta will how much? $5? $10? This is how much? A dhoti, another $20. Anybody can put a show. Anybody can put a show and say that I am spiritual. But we need to understand, we have to go back. We cannot just like that. Just because as soon as I got up, one guy, actually he also quoted his own cousin. As soon as he died, there's another person. As soon as he met an accident, he opened his eyes and there is a word called Jesus saves. Oh, I become Christian. Right? Because our faith is fragile, hence all these problems are coming. So let's actually, so I'm going to skip all this. I'll accelerate. I'm sorry, it's 9:04. Give me like 10-15 minutes, that's all. So I'm going to skip all of this. Most of our situation is this. These are the role models. These are things, I'll share these slides. You can all go through it. But does God exist? I don't know. God only knows. So let's actually park all this logic aside, all this faith and everything aside. Let's actually understand with some logical thinking first. In the nature, analyze this urge and fulfillment. So in the nature in general, you have an urge and there is a natural fulfillment for it. Okay? For example, for thirst is an urge. What is the natural fulfillment? Water. Water is the natural fulfillment. Now, man-made, so many things are there. Liquor, artificial drink, this thing, that thing, Gatorade. I just used sinful words, but we all know. Right? So, those are all perverted fulfillments. But naturally, the nature is providing water. Right? If you have hunger, what is there? Food. Fruits, vegetables, everything. Again, right? Slaughterhouses going to the extent of, killing animals just to have that thing. If there is an urge in the society for sex, what is the natural fulfillment? Marriage. Marriage is a way, we go through it. And I will leave it for everybody's imagination, what the perverted reflection of that. So name one urge that you have which does not have a fulfillment in the world. Can anybody say, I have an urge, but there is no fulfillment in the nature? Anybody? Death is not an urge. I mean, for somebody for whom, like we discussed last time, death is like 40,000 scorpions biting at the same time, that experience. But for somebody who is devastated with life, living itself has become a death, then it may be a welcoming thing for him in general. But that's why suicide is actually a cowardly act. It is not appreciated. Even legally, a person who attempts suicide is put into jail because he has no right. Even there is spiritual knowledge there. You are not this body. You can't harm. They are telling us, but they have a different way of saying it. But we don't realize. But anyway, any urge that there is no natural fulfillment. Yes, Mataji? Greed. Oh, interesting. Greed is, it's not, in one sense, greed is nothing but an excessive way of asking for something. But I don't think it is an urge. It is like, yeah, it is a negative, in general, correct. It is correct, you're right. It has a little negative connotation to it. But thank you for, giving it a high. Yeah, go ahead. Satisfaction, satisfaction is there. For example, urge to pray. Yeah, you want to be satisfied. You urge to pray is natural. Urge to take shelter of the Supreme is natural. If I don't know where to take shelter, I will take shelter in Amitabh Bachchan or Rajinikanth or Kamal Hassan or Tendulkar. Long back, I saw Tendulkar, the god of cricket. Because I don't know where to, but the urge to surrender to something is there. Even Elon Musk has to surrender to stakeholders. Everybody is thinking I'm the boss of the boss of the boss of the boss. But everybody doesn't know that they are das of das of das of das. Dasa, dasa, dasanu das. I am thinking, husband is thinking I am boss, but he has to serve the wife. Wife is thinking I am the controller, but she has to serve the husband or the kids. Even Elon Musk, Warren Buffett is thinking, even though he is the richest person, is he the richest person by the way? No? Who is the guy? I think the guy, Louis Vuitton guy, right? No. The Louis Vuitton guy is the richest guy. Even he has to serve his stakeholders. If it drops down a little bit, the value, then he is, first of all, is Adani. Who is that guy in India? Suddenly he lost. What is Adani, right? Yeah. So we know they have to serve their stakeholders. They are thinking I am the boss. You are temporary boss, not the supreme boss, right? So urge to pray is natural. Urge to take shelter of the supreme is natural. There has to be natural fulfillment, and that fulfillment is none other than God. And the God is conceived as Brahman or Paramatma. Don't just Krishna Paramatma, Krishna Bhagavan. No, we can't use just like this these words. There is a specific meaning to each of these. We will discuss in more detail later. But some pray to sun god, some pray to the 5 elements. Like my friend in France, he used to call Mother Nature. He used to respect Mother Nature. He by himself, because he respects Mother Nature, he converted himself into a vegetarian. Sorry, vegan. Because he gives his own logic. Anyway, in the interest of time. How beautiful is this? It's beautiful? Yeah? How about this? On a scale of 10? 10? 9? Oh, somebody saying 9, okay. How about this? 6, okay. Do you think they are all real places? No. They are real places. What was this place? We've been there, right? Monument Valley. So this one of this is in somewhere in yeah, correct, hill station. So all this now, this is just a picture. You are saying this picture itself is so beautiful, yes? And beyond, if a picture itself is so beautiful, what about the original thing? How beautiful it is? Yeah. Here comes this thing. Everybody say creation. Implies creator. What is this? MacBook, right? Computer. Is there a creator for this? Who? Apple. They will put it on. Apple designed in California, right? This mic has a creator. Creation implies creator. Creation. Tell me one thing that out of the blue suddenly appeared. Any phenomena you have seen suddenly appeared something on its own. Creation, basic knowledge. The creation implies who that creator? Let's not worry about that. Anybody agrees? Creation implies basic knowledge. The creator. Creation has a design and purpose. Do we see anything around us that is not created? So once upon a time, Sir Isaac Newton, I'm going to cut short the story. He had this beautiful, solar model, the entire solar system model in his main living room. He invited some of his scientists, friends, and that guys, they saw this and they pushed the button and then the whole thing perfectly it was going. And then they asked Newton, sir, wow, amazing, you have this beautiful, where did you buy it? We want to, then Newton said, you know what, it just appeared. Come on, don't joke, we are all PhDs, we came here, just tell me, where did you get it? Who designed this? Where do you? And I said, Are, trust me, beta, bhaiya, this is all just, I appeared. One day, wind came and the windows opened and then boom, it appeared. Are, come on, now let's talk serious. Then Sir Isaac Newton says, beta, you are not able to believe that this model of which is this just a replica of the original solar system, you are saying it did not come right out, just out of the blues, but you dare believe that solar system came from Big Bang. Out of nowhere, some carbon and other elements came and, and then boom, huge blast, and then you got this beautiful thing. You dare believe that. You don't believe this one, but you dare believe that. That's a challenge he asked. In fact, actually, did the solar system model get created by itself or did Newton make it? Why do you think have created? Who do you think you have created them? Watch. Let's say if somebody says, I found a watch on the seashore. Do you think out of the blues, just like that, all the sand particles came together and an Apple Watch came out of it? Or somebody would have created it? Everybody please repeat. Creation implies Creator. This microphone, you look around, anything that is there, created. There is a creator behind it. Foundations of this home, foundations of this community, a designer is there. Foundations of this town, what is this town? McKinney, Frisco. Do you think it out of the blue, suddenly appeared Frisco? Foundations of Dallas city, foundations of this earth, somebody created it. If you do not have an ability to explain or reason, that's different. That's your inability. Acknowledge that. Don't say, I have never seen your grandfather, so in my opinion, grandfather never existed. Can anybody say that? I have never seen your grandfather, so he doesn't exist. Huh? Is that a good proposition? Right? Watch found, okay? I'll skip some of these. So many good examples are there. Did you know eagle eye have 3 eyelids? Have to see mosquitoes bumping into each other while flying. So in the natural, there is a perfect natural, system in place. The great Big Bang theory, right? Anything that had an explosion never created beautiful things. We had so many explosions, unfortunately, in America. You're going to get scared? You're going to what? Read. Okay, you're going to read. Yeah, read it. Yeah, by the way, kids, don't answer these questions, these answers. In the school, for marks, you have to go Big Bang theory is the source. If you come and tell, like Kathy was saying or somebody is saying, no, your daughter was saying. So in the school, Baba, at the end of the day, you have to get your marks and everything. So Big Bang theory is ultimate. In fact, you won't believe, I was telling my son, I have a screenshot, maybe I'll share next time. In the preface of Theory of Evolution book, our Darwin is saying, I have made a lot of speculations in this theory. That guy himself is acknowledging he's led a lot of speculation. Now you can understand. Monkeys se kahan pe aa gaya yaar? Humans. If so many humans came from monkeys, why they are not coming in front of our eyes? What happens? Why there are monkeys again? Some left out? Did they do anything wrong? Perhaps? Or why don't you see in front of your eyes at least one monkey transforming into, So anyways, big bangs. No bang ever created such a beautiful photos that you have seen. These photos of which they are just photographs of the real beauty in the nature. Yeah, everybody agrees? Creation implies creator. Many questions remain unanswered with Big Bang theory. Again, I'll leave it for you guys. Why don't, quasars, they talk about quasars theory, all the quasars and pellets come together, all kinds of, full of speculative jargons, chemical process and all that, and then boom, suddenly blast, and the beautiful solar system came. Bang means, गोकुल चाट में bang हो गया था. क्या हुआ? 9/11 में bang हुआ था बहुत. क्या हुआ? Nothing beautiful comes. Bad memories come from them. But our scientists dare declare. Did we investigate Big Bang theory? Everybody is talking about. Nothing beautiful came out of Hiroshima, Nagasaki, atom bombs. 2006 witnessed 12 blasts in Mumbai. Again, these slides came from Mumbai. So obviously, some of them has that. So nothing beautiful comes out of the explosions. Right? Lord Krishna, in fact, for example, declares in Bhagavad Gita 10.8. Everybody repeat after me. Aham sarvasya prabhavo. Mattas sarvam pravartate. Iti matva bhajante mam. Buddha bhava samanvitaah. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Aham sarvasya prabhavo. I am the underlying principle from where everything is emanating. Mattas sarvam pravartate. Everything emanates from me. The wise, Buddha bhava, the real intelligent people, what they do? The wise who perfectly know this engages in devotional service. Iti matva bhajante mam. Bhajante matlab kya hai? Bhajan matlab worship. Mam matlab kya hai? Me matlab not me. Krishna is speaking, right? In Sanskrit, there is, like in Telugu, at least there are many Sanskrit poets. They will take, for example, Shuklam Bharadharam Vishtum Shashivaranam Chaturbhujam. That guy, there is a Gurram Joshua, there is a guy. He proved that it is Vada. He proved that Shuklam Bharadharam, it is a donkey. Like that he proves. Because jargon, Sanskrit, no, we don't have knowledge, can play any role. But mom, nobody can change. The meaning of mom, nobody can change. What is Krishna is using? Buddha bhava samnita. Iti matva bhajante mom. Yeah, direct, clear. There is no need to speculate. There is no need to interpret. Right? This is the boldest statement that Krishna makes. In fact, actually, in any Puranas, Vedic literature, nowhere, even Lord Shiva or anybody says that I am the source of everything. Boldly Krishna declares, I am the source of everything. Right? Example. Right? So a scientific mind is ready to accept Big Bang theory, but not God as a creator. You will, sir, ye sab kyun chahiye, ye sab, these shlokas and are all grandma ka stories. We believe in science. We need scientific proofs. Science also develops its theories observing invisible things. Even science relies, also on invisible patterns. For example, gravity. If apple fell down, where is the gravity? Can you see? Can anybody see gravity? No. But if you drop it, that is what? There is something called cause and effect. Effect is what? Dropping of the ball. But what is the cause? Gravitation. Did Mr. RGV invented gravitation in laboratory? Or any scientist invented gravitation force? Anybody claims that gravitation force is invented in lab? Nobody. It is a natural principle that exists. Isaac Newton questioned it. The rest of us ate the apple. That's all. That's the difference. He questioned it, he got it. Right? So, invisible principles, we need science, not the scriptures, right? So we covered all that. So there are so many laws discovered. Law of refraction, law of relativity, the law of cause and effect, the law of polarity. I'll leave it for you all to catch up on the recording. You can read through those. But there's so many natural laws in the nature. That's it. Nobody has invented them. Right? Similarly, just like the way science, material science, depends on invisible principle, like pendulum, when it strikes, there's a natural, formula is there, right? I forgot my physics anyway. So just like the way physics that has been experienced in this world has some laws that are governing it and that are invisible in nature, similarly spiritual science is a different strata. You need to understand that. We don't believe that, but we believe in science. And again, we are not against the science. It is science when it uses saying that I don't need God. That is when a problem. We have a problem accepting God as a person. Arey Baba, God is light, God is energy, God is that. But accepting God as a person is the biggest problem for me. God is unlimited. Person means limited. A person means, for example, this house. It has a shape? Is it limited or unlimited? Limited. For example, this harmonium, is it limited or unlimited? So our general experience is, because it has a shape, biggest misconception, something that has a shape is limited, something that has no shape is unlimited. Right? That is the biggest problem. And does thinking that God as some person X, does it limit him or unlimit him? Right? Does having a shape makes us limited? Does not having a shape makes us unlimited? Accepting God as a person would mean hearing to his order. Arey Baba, ye sab God ke sam leke mat leke aao yaar, aaram se main ji raha hu. Don't interrupt me. He will be a new boss, then I have to hear him unnecessarily. Right? All these things we think. He will also have material body with material body elements, just like the way the other day one of the kid was asking, Khyati or somebody is asking. He is also in a jail. Just because the jailer also visits every day, and so are the people who are in the jail, we cannot say, okay, jailer and we are same. Just because, okay, my material body means what? Pus, blood, mucus, all these things are filled in this. And same, God is also like that. Right? We equate, we try to deride. Right? Anyway, so God is Nirakara, Nirguna, all these misconceptions, of course, we're going to go into the details in the next session, where we will discuss more. Now, just like the way we said, creation implies creator, law implies lawmaker. You have, for example, you stop in front of a traffic light, and then there is a red light come, and then you stop your vehicle, and then perfect pattern. The people who want to make left will make left, and then you get green signal. It's a perfect pattern. Yes? Perfect pattern in the system. You think that it just came by itself? If there is a law, means someone must have made some law. The lawmaker is implied. Creation implies creator. Energy implies energetic. One will possess that energy. Energy does not, must be, you don't know. Some energies are directly, we can tangibly see, some energy we don't see. Law implies lawmaker. Rhythms, patterns, balances. You see, everybody at the traffic light, as you can see here, right? There was, in Japan, I think they established a fully automated, fast train, but within few days, the whole system came down, and then somebody has to again recorrect that. Somebody has to, recorrect the algorithm and then monitor it. So the idea here is behind every patterns that you see, every refraction, law of refraction. You put a stick in the water, what happens? Bends. But did it really bend? No. Law implies lawmaker. You don't know what that is. You don't know what the principle behind it. You don't know who that lawmaker is. Doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. It just came by itself. Is that a natural? Common sense. Forget about Shastra and all these things, quotations. Common things. Human can never design laws which will work in all permutations. Okay. Can anybody change this law? Okay, what is G is equal to? 9.8 meters per second square, right? 9.8. Yeah? Can you change that tomorrow to 6.5? Huh? No. So you can't, right? So, can you change the law? Can anyone reverse this law? You see, perfect, time deteriorating, everything. No one, can anybody stop this from here back to go this? Can you go? There's a child, there is a growing child, young age, then adulthood, then slowly comes. We are somewhere here. It's a perfect cycle, embryo, baby, child, teenage, adult, aging, death. Perfect system. This is every living entity is going through this. Perfect pattern in the nature? Yes? No? How many of you think that there is a perfect pattern? Yes, it is there. Can anybody reverse this? Can you change, swap? आज मूड नहीं है रहा, आज मैं बेबी से सीधा मैं adult जाऊंगा. Even though that is our wish. And that's why that wish manifests in the movies, like, in the form of time machine movies. They are all natural ways, but there doesn't exist any time machine. There is only one time machine that's running across the nature time. Everybody has to be forced to go through that. Yeah? Everybody agree? So, here are a few scientists concluding. I'll go fast forward. Most intelligent can recognize the law of the creator. What he's saying is, I'll just read this. We have seen that God created the laws of physics in just the right way so that laws of chemistry would be correct so that life can exist. I'll give an example here real quick in the next one. So many, again, those who are, lambda, epsilon, omega, lambda, right, Q, all these quotients, all these constants. It's impossible to explain the perfect balance maintained in the life on this planet. For example, the angle between two hydrogen atoms in the water, if it decreases by, how do you measure? I forgot the unit. What is the unit of measurement in chemical? Who is reading chemistry? Degree only, right? The angle. If it reduces by 1 unit, life does not exist on this planet. If 1 degree of that, 2 hydrogens and oxygen coming together, if it down by 1, life does not exist on this planet. It's coincidence? Perfectly out of the blue, exactly, just coincidence, right? Or perfect law implies lawmaker. Perfect. And there are so many, you can read through it. Omega, also known as the density parameter, is the relatively importance of gravity and expansion energy, blah, blah, blah. The ratio of the mass density of the universe to the critical density is approximately 1. If the gravity were too strong compared to with the dark energy and the initial metric expansion, the universe would have collapsed before. Perfectly going, right? Anybody sliding when you are walking on the road? Because the orbital thing suddenly gave a jerk and all of us fell down. Huh? Perfect. Life would not exist. This is not coincidence. You have an inability to explain, acknowledge that. Don't give your bhashan, funda. There is no God. Or popular people who are saying that is God. It's all nonsense. So, even the greatest scientist actually acknowledged true science discovers God waiting behind every door. Albert Einstein says, the more I study the science, the more I believe in God. How many of you have seen the movie The Man Who Knew Infinity? Yeah, you saw that? Please go watch it once again. Ramanujan Srinivasa Ramanujan, mathematician. He has built greatest mind that this world has produced. He lives in Kumbakonam, in Tamil Nadu. He greatest brain. And how these whatever that professor named Charles or whatever in London, they were astonished some of these theories he is proposing. And where is he getting? He is saying that I'm just getting from my Devi, my goddess, I'm getting these things. And he is failed in school, in academics. Everybody knows that? You watch that movie, Man Who Knew Infinity. Watch that. So these are the great personalities. These people do not hesitate to acknowledge. You see what he is saying? Thomas Edison, there is a great value in disaster. All our mistakes are burned up. Thank God we can start anew. Science only goes so far, then comes the God. Right? So all these, Albert Einstein, if you see the Bhagavad Gita book, Prabhuji has a book, and when you're going off, you can see there are some nice quotations in the back. Right? These people were inspired. True science does not alienate the principle of the creator behind it. Right? Material nature laws and work under the direction of God. Jagat Mithya and all this, I'll skip all this. Okay? But if you can see here, Bhagavad Gita says, Maya Adhyakshena Prakriti. Repeat. Maya Adhyakshena Prakriti. Suyate Sacharacharam. Hetunanena Kaunteya. Jagat Viparivaryate Vartate. This material nature, which is one of my energies, is working under my direction. Krishna is directly saying, this Prakriti is working under my Adhyakshena Prakriti. This Prakriti is working under direct my energy. It's working under my guidance. Under its rule, this manifestation is created and annihilated again. Prakriti kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvashaha ahankara vimudhatma kartaham iti manyate. The bewildered spirit soul, like RGV and other people, again, nothing against him. I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about his ism. Under the influence of three modes of material nature, thinks himself to be the doer of it. Karta aham iti manyate. I am the doer. I generated new principles. I invented this thing. What do you invented? You are manipulating with the material elements. The laws are already there. Nothing new. Right? Definition of God was given not by, there is one guy who was saying, Hey ma is doing japa. But he is thinking, everybody thinking he is talking about goddess ma. But he is talking to Hema only. So, so people need to understand who is God. Right? The God, that definition, no Tom, Dick and Harry can give. For that, again, next session when we go into the so-called cock and bull stories, grandma stories of scriptures, is really scripture authentic thing or something that was again created? In that session we'll discuss more. So their definition is limited to their imagination. Some guy will say God is light, somebody will say God is hope light, somebody will say God is my guru. And that guy will take advantage of this. In me, I will do this all that thing will happily come. Right? And there are people who are going to becoming the permanent residentship in United States of Kailash. According to me, who cares about according to you? Who cares? RGV also gives, who cares about according to you? According to me, what according to me? We have to go to the authentic. If we want to know who the father is, we go to the mother. Right? So that we need to understand. Right? And today God is the cheap talk. Anybody can give any gyan. My religion is God, your religion is God. Talking about God and can lead to conflicts, and let's not talk, or either they will talk. So two things are infinite. Einstein is saying, the universe and human stupidity. And I am not sure about the universe. So that means human stupidity is for sure is there. Okay? Don't, So anyone to be declared as God should fit into this definition. So he is the source of earth. Parashar Muni actually gave the definition. Aishwaryasya samagrasya viryasya yashahasriha jnana vairagyam yaschaiva shannam bhagamitingana. We'll go into detail. I'll cut short now. Source of everything. He should be the source of everything. Whatever, whether it is a he, she, energy, or whatever you call it, that God must be source of everything. Right? He should be source of everything. If some Tamil Nadu, some guy is claiming that I am the Kalki, then can he control everybody of us here? Can he control? Okay, I'll feed him 10 liters of water. There is water here. Ask him to control not going to the bathroom for the 1 hour, 2 hours. He cannot control his own thing. right? He's control of everything. But he will control special darshan, 50,000 rupees. And then I'll give hug, whatever he will give hug or whatever he will give jug, I don't know. So supreme controller of everything. So God means he should be the supreme controller of everything. Can you name anyone who knows, in control of everything? Is president in control of everything? His position itself is not control of himself. Right? One person declared himself as Bhagavan, whatever. He could not control his life anyway. He died in ICU, so that's fine. His order is always done. No one can order him. That's the God. I am the boss and my wife gives me permission to say so. A new God has come, right? So, definition of God means one who is the source of everything. Then one is the controller of everything. And then one is the supreme proprietor. Three things. Source of everything, controller of everything, proprietor of everything. Everybody say source. Controller, proprietor. Yeah, because proprietor of everything. In Warangal, this is actually a place where there is this, clothes merchant store was there. That road is very small, and one of my uncle had his store there. Long story short, he thought forever this land belongs to me. One day, Shalini Mishra, she is the district collector. She came. She said, in 1 month, I am chopping off 10 feet here and 10 feet here. They made a huge thing. Believe it or not, 80% of their shop has gone and it protruded almost into their home was behind. He was shocked. I thought, I am the owner of this home. Tomorrow, Frisco City declares that I am going to construct a highway here. So-called proprietorship, home ownership, association, everything has to come down. Right? We think that God is the supreme proprietor. What I am trying to say is, we have proprietorship, no doubt. But it is dash in nature. Temporary in nature. Yeah. Everyone has live once government order is received. People fighting for a temporary train seat during the journey. You see so many times, picking up fight. We are so, about fighting about temporary place. Even a country cannot claim, this was the original India. Now it is only this much. And now the question of even the top portion, POK or Pakistan occupied this thing or that thing is a big question. Right? Definition of supreme enjoyer, fourth one. What is it? Source of? Then controller, proprietorship, and then enjoyer of everything. So, he is enjoyer. Now you see that Sarana Bhavan guy or whatever, that Gokul chat, he is making the chat. The whole day all the workers are working, and finally at the end of the day, one big mustache guy comes, chalo, aaj ka kitna hua hai aaj? Collection. He takes and goes. That kind of. So everybody is working, but this guy finally is enjoyer. But is a supreme enjoyer. So like that, now again, enjoyer doesn't mean, don't take it as kind of enjoyer, matlab wo ek mast Netflix dekhte hue aaram se God baithega. Not like that kind of enjoyment. We'll understand in detail when we get to that. So, but understand that is Bhoktaram Yagnatapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. Krishna is saying, I am the supreme enjoyer, Benedictor. Gnatva Mam Shanti Murchati. One who understands this simple principle, you will get the ultimate peace in your life. So, proof of enjoyer matlab kya hai? If I am enjoying this, let's say this TV, Radha Krishna Garu is enjoying this TV. Matlab, enjoyer means what? He should be? To be a supreme enjoyer, you should be a supreme proprietor. Proprietorship होगा तो तभी आप enjoy करेंगे ना. Supreme proprietorship implies what? You are the proprietor of this. That implies you are the supreme controller. Only then he can, he will pull out his remote and then nicely he will control. Only if he can control it, only if he is a proprietor. He will be the only proprietor, only then he can be a supreme enjoyer. Proof of controllership क्या है? He should be the creator. He should be the creator. Only if you really create yourself, then you can be the supreme controller. Only if you can purely control, because you are a creator, you can control it. Because you can control it, you have the full proprietorship on it. Because you are the supreme proprietor, you can enjoy it. So God, by definition, fits these three things. He is the supreme enjoyer. Why? Because he is the supreme proprietor. Because he is supreme proprietor, because that means he is the supreme controller. Controllership means he is the supreme creator. So we are not talking about this thing. We are talking about basic logic arguments here. creation, supreme controller, controller matlab proprietor and enjoyer. Right? Proof of controllership, creatorship matlab means he is the cause of all the causes. You always see cause and effect in the nature. We are only seeing the effect, but we should see the cause behind it. Yeah, everybody understands? So Srila Prabhupada, anyone who claims to be a god has to fulfill this criteria without exception. If he fulfills, then he is God. Otherwise, he is a dog. He used to very heavily say this. Right? There are difficulties. The kids will like this. There are difficulties. If you lift your Govardhan, the so-called Kalki Bhagavan, ask him to lift his Govardhan. What Govardhan? He can't lift this computer for 5 seconds. Right? Or read about all. Krishna gave in 1.5 hours all the shlokas, non-stop. And Arjuna understood. Or Srimad Bhagavatam. Ask him to recite, or control 10 monkeys and make them work. Control 10 monkeys. Or actually forget about that. Control 5 human beings. He cannot. Right? Eat food and offered at one. Anyway, so there's simple test. Dance on a soap floor. What to speak of dancing in Kaliyana. Right? The simplest test is drink 10 liters of water. Don't go for pass for next 24 hours. Forget about claiming all this, Bhagavan, I am the Lord, you are the Lord. You don't accept me as God, right? You are also God. I am also God. Everybody is God. All these concepts will come. So we'll understand very, systematically to get answers in future. So the next is going to be, is again, just like the way everybody is convinced, everybody understood at least today's principles. Creation implies? Law implies? Law of refraction is created by doctors, RGV. True or false? Huh? True or false? Law of opacity has been invented by, is not invented by scientists. True or false? True. So real scientists understands the source of it. So creatorship implies who is God? God must be supreme creator. Creatorship means he is the controller. He can control them. Controllership implies he is the supreme controller. Ishvara, matlab kya hai? Ishvara, everybody repeat. Ishvara paramo Krishna. Satchidananda Vigraha. Anadir Adir Govinda. Sarva Karana Karanam. This is coming from Brahma Samhita. He is saying, Ishvara Paramo Krishna. There are so many controllers, but the supreme controller is Krishna. Ishvara Paramo Krishna. Sat Chit Ananda Vigraha. His body is not like made up of mucus, blood and all this. Right? Satchichana, Satchidananda Vigraha. Anadir, Anadi. Matlab, jisko starting point nahi hai. Simultaneously, who has no starting point, and Adi, and he is the beginning. Anadir Adir Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam. If you go to the cause and cause and cause, you have an effect. What is the cause of that? 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 And if you go all to the source, then you must end with that. Ramanujan ended there. Einstein ended there. Sir Isaac Newton ended there. What is the cause of that? When you naturally, unbiasedly, not the so-called industries with some agenda nowadays pumping into the universities to do all this research and have a agenda specific vision and produce the results and call it. One day they'll call Pluto is a planet, other day they'll say Pluto is not a planet. Again they'll like this. It's not agenda specific. When you do research, you will end up sarva karana karana. So that is what the thing. Creation implies? Law implies lawmaker. Simple. So I would like to thank you all for this. So please, to understand more of these questions, the next topic is going to be about the Shastra. What is the next topic? The next topic is, what is the topic? Anybody remembers? I forgot myself. I went blank, basically. Where is that? Huh? No. Is a scripture the word of God, or is it something again created out of the? Where does all these cock and bull stories, grandma shlokas coming from? Is that real, or is somebody again reinvented? So that is what we are going to rationally examine next week. So I'll stop here. Any questions? Any reflections Any things that you want to discuss real quick? 1 or 2 questions we can take. Rest we can take while having prasadam. Any questions? Sir, you want to add anything? Ashok garu? Ashok garu and me tammudu. Meer Shiva garu. Sir? Ashok garu, anything you want to add? Wow, very nice. Wow, yeah, let's celebrate. Yeah. So I think it's 9:40. I'm sorry I've taken, because I wanted to squeeze. I went a little, because RGV guy thing took a little more. Usually that's not a part of the presentation, but I thought I'll include. So that took a little more and pushed it. I'm sorry about that. Yes, we'll now celebrate. If anybody has any questions, we can discuss during the prasadam time. Yeah. Anybody wants to add anything? No, nothing. Then I'll have to ask questions then. Yeah, yeah.
It's happening a lot back in India now.
Correct.
So that is because what I felt is that we as Hindus,
Yeah.
we don't have that much of unity.
Correct.
Actually, to be honest, because if we go to temple,
Correct.
I try to speak with people who I know,
Yeah.
but I don't speak with others.
Ah.
Even I don't look at them. I don't. If there is a festival, right?
Correct.
Don't even try to wish them.
Yeah.
But it's not the case with the Christians or Muslims.
True.
So if they go to church or mosque, right? So they try to unite.
Correct.
So it's what we are lacking.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Conversion.
Absolutely, you're right. We are happy to say how are you doing and to a stranger, but we can't say happy Diwali. Yeah, we don't smile also.
Looking at him, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Even if he goes on road, I think.
correct, correct,
Even I don't like to smile at him.
correct.
That's what we gotta change.
Absolutely, absolutely. Wow, wonderful point, Venkat Garu.
If we don't do that, conversion would obviously happen.
Yeah, 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 true. Yeah, because we don't have the strength, the roots are not strong, hence anybody can take us for a ride. So this idea of this course is that we go rooted. Our roots will become more strong. And then we can happily to be, I'll tell you, I was ashamed of putting dhoti in my childhood. My father was a purohit, and he used to say, if you don't study, I will put you into this line. That's how he used to do. And then I used to get scared. I used to be ashamed literally to put that dhoti and go in front of all the people and do pujas and all that. But today I proudly wear this. Mera Bharat Mahan. Why? Not because I am coming from land of India. In fact, I hate to use the word India. It is Bharat. Bharata Desham. Why? Because today that wisdom, that Krishna consciousness, I could get it. From so many, I could understand that. Many people actually intervened in my life, just like the way I was sitting there 20 years back. Same thing. And that transformed me. Today I proudly wear the dhoti. There's nothing, because that is our identity. How can, these Britishers came, I'll show all those things. They said if we want to demolish India, we have to culturally hit them. And that's why Max Muller and all these guys, all manipulated history has been given into our textbooks. And we read that and we become that.
Even what RGV said, right? So basically he's saying that US and UK were they're rich and
Yeah.
wealthier people.
Correct.
But if we consider India, so India is a
Yeah.
actual superpower.
Yeah.
So because of selfishness, greediness, politics, all this stuff, we are remaining behind.
Yeah.
But if if people try to lose and think about someone else, we would be the richest.
Why Columbus wanted to find India? Because he knows that there is wealth. Why India attracted Britishers? Why India attracted Mughals? Right? So our country has the greatest riches. And the more than these material opulences, the wisdom of Vedic knowledge is the ultimate. And we can say that we are Mara Bharat Mahan when we understand that fundamentally. Yeah. 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 Wow. Correct. You're right. So with that, I think we have taken. Thank you so much once again for all of your audience. Please excuse me if I have misspoken anything. My intention is not to hurt anybody. As with your wonderful hearts, please excuse me as your servant. Thank you, Hare Krishna. And we'll now celebrate the celebrations. So I'll leave the